Valorant yet. So yeah, potential there, potential there. First for Valorant, let's see. NAVI on the attack now. Looks like they will be heading towards the left-hand side. The A site didn't quite work out for them for the pistol, and they're walking directly into the crosshair of Vitinho.
Take flight.
Navi almost need to go for some kind of a gamble, because otherwise they're just going to get picked off completely. Playing it slow through B main when
there's a long-distance gun?
Yeah, when there's a Marshal and you can't get any armor. It's not the best of times, for sure.
It ain't pretty.
Unlucky times. But I mean, ultimately, when it comes to Navi's attack, one of the things that, again, I'm maybe a little bit concerned for them is the difference between Cypher and Killjoy's. Killjoy's turret is very reliable when guarding your flanks, whereas the Cypher trips, I just feel like there's so many ways, like even with the extended range, there's ways like if you put it over by this ramp here, you can jump over it. You can't block off both exits from A main. Yeah, you can put down a camera, something like this, but a lot of the times I think you'll see attacking Cyphers maybe use the camera as like a post-plant tool to be able to check out the spike, things like that. The pick definitely does have some value. But overall, in terms of the comparison to the Killjoy, I am still waiting to see what Angel is going to prove with that pick here today. He's always a guy that wants to play something a little bit different, always playing something just slightly out of the norm. And he has a history of catching teams off guard with that style.
Yeah. I think something else to highlight in this game as well in particular is the duelists as well, Vitinho and cNed. I know we've talked to this a lot, but you know, cNed has been around the world playing this game, and he's had success and has got a world championship under his belt. Vitinho, on the other hand, this is the biggest stage has been if you put Lock into the side,
sure.
Obviously. So this is a great experience for him, and he's actually getting to show what his region even had prior, and how much skill he can bring to the table. He's an excellent player, and I hope he gets to illustrate that today.
Chance to have a breakout year. Rhyme, though, throws the early slorb. Now it's just going to creep up with Cloud. It's a couple of aggressive rounds on this A site between Rhyme and Cloud, and Rhyme is just taking heads.
Why have a Vandal when you can just tap people down with a Bulldog? Just yapping at you.
Yeah. I mean, this is legit, though. Like, I love seeing rifles, seeing Bulldogs in round 2, because the Bulldog gives you such a chance to fight at range in round 3. You can see Giants sporting 4 of them, actually.
Especially on long-distance maps like Icebox, right? You ADS, and it's just that much more accurate. You can just line up a couple of shots one after the other, and that's basically as if you were having a Phantom in your hand.
Yeah. Really nasty.
Especially against half shields.
Yeah, the problem now is, too, like, Zyppan down to 38 health. And Giants are calling the rotations over. So they're going to have 4 players to fight very aggressively. There's no Sage while alive. So the plant now becomes very difficult. You're going to have to take a fight before you have a chance to drop the spike down. And with time ticking, too, like, Cloud could potentially early rotate over from A as well.
This is slowing Navi's attempt quite a bit. I mean, we're down to 30 seconds already. Angel waltzing forwards. Have a look at that. Gets one, Vitinho does spot him over. And does trade the favor, but still, Vitinho holding it back. Highlight him all day. That's going to be a triple for him on the 3rd round of the map, making an excellent start to this game.
And really, this whole round comes down to what Rhyme and Cloud were able to do, specifically Rhyme. I think all they ended up using was the one Sage Slow Orb. Gonna call that the Slorb, just preparing all of you to be ready for that one. That's
Have you always called it the Slorb, or is it just like a...
me and Mimi, when we were casting, we came up with, we have this whole lexicon, okay? So the Sage Slow Orb, that's a Slorb. The Viper Mid Orb, that's the Morb, right? So we can be morbing it up in mid anytime. That's what attacking teams do all the time on Icebox. Just get ready. Like, we don't have enough time to say 2 words. It's too complicated.
I've heard the eco with Sheriffs is a Shiko.
That wasn't us, though.
No.
You're going to have to bring that up with Pansy and Hypoc.
Ah, okay. Never really remembered who came up.
Yeah, I just call it a tough time, really.
Yeah, Navi having a tough time this round. Giants, of course, having upgraded a few of the Bulldogs they've had with the Vandals that Navi bought over. So it's basically, yeah, here's a gift. Bit of a Valentine's. Maybe a kiss on the cheek. Hoody, first blood, actually. That's all you expect. Navi has actually slowed up the pace for the past couple of rounds, right? And, you know, trying to traverse, trying to play the info game. No real success on the picks, though.
Well, the problem is, how do you really play the info game? Because they're playing Sovalus. Like, a lot of the A aggression early on could be simply solved with a Sova dart or a drone if the dart ends up getting broken. That's not really an option for them. They do have the KO knife. That's something they can play with, but just far less information tools in the kit to be able to work with.
For this one, they will be aiming to try and get that plant down. Cloud delivering it. Nothing is a smoke. cNed unable to push forwards. That's a pick for Shao. Maybe an opportunity to get the spike down. That's exactly what it is. Not too shabby. Pair her up with a couple of kills, and you call it a day. Coutinho up close and personal. Delivers a business towards the chest. Shao keeping it competitive. One more, and you're well in your good way for a good eco round. That's NAVI with a 3 picks and a spike plant. I call that pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Shao just collecting 3 orbs, 4 orbs there with the death as well. Not the worst thing in the world, especially on attack. I think you can find a lot of situations to take early fights and look for a cheap res, something like this. But again, I think NAVI need to be on guard for the early A aggression. That obviously was not the case in this round, but I think I've already seen some glimpses of how Cloud and Rhyme want to play over on this A side, especially on the weaker purchases, right? Pistol round, they went for the aggression. Round 3, they went on it with many Bulldogs. So keep our eyes out for those pushes. Right now, I think with Vitinho moving over to the operator, he's just going to be posted up top gen for that early angle. And this is actually a really tough thing. I think a lot of teams will still approach A main on the ground. You can see just a Cypher camera to contest the early aggression. It's a similar way of solving things to that Sova Dart, but doesn't end up clearing away pipes.
We'll fast forward 20 seconds into the round already. We saw some early presence from cNed in the mid. Didn't cover anybody up close, therefore he drops back, no pick. NAVI now heading towards the left-hand side pivot where hoody is holding alone, actually. If he gets picked off, the B site is theirs.
Hoody's a little bit concerned about some mid-aggression.
Yeah, he might have heard actually a drop there. I believe a footstep has been audible.
Yeah, download this off angle, though. So many players will hold that when they are playing back yellow, but you can just wrap around if you have the awareness for it.
Oh, they might be able to pinch him into yellow. cNed does end up dropping, tries to draw out a snake bite, but not in time. Deleted, snake bite. Obviously won't be dropped, but the Hunter's Fury will try and deny the spike plant. Won't be happening. We're looking at a 4-on-4 here. NAVI setting up for the post plant. Resurrection coming through, and they've got all 5 alive for this setup.
Rhyme does have wall up for the retake, so that is an option. The attacking wall is really awkward. It's going to be hard to reclaim space on that side out in the open. And with 3 players fighting deep back towards Snowman, there's no fights actually being afforded to them right now.
Vitinho actually has an operator in his hand, but he's drawed out the blades. He's going to go super aggro on this one, and they're relying on him to pick up all the kills. Doesn't quite get the first one. Cloud trying to bring it all back. Oh, but they're trying to defuse it. Shao's on the case, delivering the action. NAVI on the board.
NAVI play through B main super quiet. And just sneak up right there on hoody. Yeah, he gets the one, but side open, free plant. And then not over-fighting deep towards Snowman when there was the 3 players trying to swing into them. I really like that coming on through. I think they could have been a little bit more diligent, maybe having Angel wrap around yellow on that initial walk-up. And then maybe they don't lose the first player, but a win's a win at the end of the day. They're going to be happy to walk away with that one.
Time to get a little bit competitive in here, right? Time to get some more action from both teams. NAVI, of course, finding some confidence. They can start performing as well. Spread out, familiar to what we saw the first 3 rounds. No B presence instead. It's left with a Cypher Cam, Tripwire also to hold out any sort of luck that can happen from Giants.
Interesting that nukkye pulled back the alarm bot there. I'm not sure if he thought it was spotted out or he wanted to try and make the sound, pretend like it's there, then pull it away to place it somewhere later on. But yeah, he's just going to put it in that same exact position. Didn't want to, I actually don't think he wanted to allow NAVI to play to early break it. Placing it later in the round actually gives him far more value. It's a clever little move from him.
They throw in the dagger, but then they freeze. 2 players now try to enter to kitchen from NAVI, but they drop back as well. This is putting question marks into Giants right now. They know they've been pushed, but also they don't know how far NAVI have pulled back and where they're committing to.
With 40 seconds, though, you see the wall go down. It lasts 40 seconds, so that one is going to be up for the entirety. The patience on Rhyme, perfect.
Wall drop, cNed, high ground. Rhyme up close to the wall. Who will be spotting out who first? cNed, elevated, delivering first, but now NAVI starts to moving through. Giants don't have all players here. Cloud's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting if he wants to keep his team alive in this one. Can't stop the defusal. Wall in front of it. Cloud delivering onto Angel, but still NAVI have got what they wanted, and they've dropped back exactly what they needed.
Hoody big on the flank now. When the Cypher went down, I don't think any of the util was broken, so they may not be aware that the flank is inbound.
SUYGETSU is definitely looking that direction, and so is Zyppan. Quick to react to it. nukkye trying to push forwards. That's one, but they've got way more kills that they need. It's 2 against 4. Make it 3, actually.
Oh,
not impossible.
Vitinho, the knives will be coming back for him now. So there's an option. but I think they're just going to end up saving the rifle.
Yeah, Navi's playing
the
way to
null
save.
command was perfect there on Zyppan because
Exactly.
retaking the site as the Jet, not very doable with the operator, and removing the knives as an option for such a time, secures the round, buys him everything. That's 2 on the board.
And Navi's a team that is just so solid on those fundamentals, right? They'll never go for those over peaks. And, well, if they do, it's going to be a rarity. And you
Sure.
definitely saw that illustrated right there. They have the advantage back out. Why take another fight if you don't need to? No chances given to Giants.
Exactly the right way to do it. Similar look with them over on the B site, and cNed on this opening, he heard the wall go down, was expecting the position of the Sage. And actually, if they can time hits like that around the 40-second mark, they actually just know exactly when Rhyme wants to put down the wall. That could be something they look into a little bit later, but early float up with the Jet.
Get out of my way.
First operator for Vitinho, I think. Could be.
Angel is very well aware. So that's your discount Sova Dart right there. Also recharges off of a cooldown. You can't really line it up, unfortunately. It would be kind of funny if you could throw it off the walls and then it would just like stick to it. You know, it had an adhesive on the back, something like that, but Cypher's not high tech enough for that.
Turret out.
He'll get there.
Turret down.
But of course, Navi now entering now this B site. 2 defenders, of course, Rhyme close proximity to help out as well. cNed pushing forwards now, together with his team. Not greedy to buy anything, just utility, trying to delay it. It's a stall-out tactic from Giants.
Positioning SUYGETSU is going to be big here. Up inside tube. If nukkye ever dies, that alarm bot goes down and all of a sudden, instantly, a pincer in the back. So critical that nukkye doesn't end up falling.
They're backing out.
But that's all right. Again, because they've gotten SUYGETSU so far forward, really, they can just try to play. Now SUYGETSU's positioning. He will hear every single rotate off of the B site. Actually, just goes for the fight. What is that?
Man's disgusting. And Navi now enter the A site. Of course, it's going to be completely open, and they haven't dealt with SUYGETSU yet, which does cause caution for Giants. Even Angel onto the site left. He's going to be a perfect person to flank.
There are lurks absolutely everywhere. I think Angel's positioning, he might even be too far away, so he's not going to commit to the flank. He's going to rotate back through spawn while SUYGETSU continues to be a nuisance up mid.
Giants are feeling like they're in Big Brother right now. There's people watching them left and right, behind them, on top of them. They don't know where to look. Surely uncomfortable to be in. And Navi, again, you know, advantage, drop back, spike touched.
Buy
Snakebite is
time.
there. They've got so much utility to stop this from happening. Cloud delivering with the first kill.
SUYGETSU coming up Raptors now.
Is he going to come in time? Yeah, it's not stuck with. He's got plenty of time to just rotate over, but they can't lose all of his teammates' lives. SUYGETSU, optimal position, just stay quiet, nobody's looking towards him, and that's where he can spray upon them, spraying through. He's running out of health, and he's running out of teammates. He will be spraying through, but not stuck with Cloud, classic in hand, but has no time to defuse. It's a round for Navi.
That was wild right there, almost slipped away. Navi is secured at the end though. SUYGETSU wishing he had just a couple more bullets in the Vandal to make it clean, but the plays he made up mid, finding those 2 opening picks, absolutely perfect for what was required of him in the situation. Oh man.
Oh man.
That feels bad.
The thing is, I could have seen that stick on the spike actually work out. I could see nukkye running out of bullets on the Classic as well, because he ran out of bullets on the Vandal. I swear it was on just like 3 bullets on the Classic. When the nerves hit the fan, you know you're going to miss some of those.
I think when Cloud got up, he started right-clicking. It was a bit frantic out of him, whereas if Cloud stays on, it would be the left click. I think he would have been fine. I don't think Cloud actually had enough tick on that second half to actually make it happen, but got a little bit out of hand for just a moment. SUYGETSU completely won that round. That was literally just him. No one else did anything. Yeah, they planted the spike, you know, were able to stall a little bit, but a 4K for him. And with those 2 openers up through mid, if Navi continue to find the exploit through mid, that opens up how you play this map entirely. Right? If you're losing mid on defense, it has become so much more challenging to contest because what do? Your Killjoy setup doesn't really change, right? You can maybe try to fight aggressively into mid, but the angles kind of suck unless you're trying to do some stuff with like the jet knives going up top tube, with a Sage Wall to boost you. Like, it's really, really uncomfortable to try and fight through that area if you're just getting beat by one person.
Case in point, this round in particular, right?
Yeah,
nukkye,
literally.
Even though alarm bot just got triggered, it didn't matter because at the end of the day, SUYGETSU was swinging wide and picked the kill up.
Yeah, he got that first one, then he's finding the second one, even though they know he's probably still in the area. Hold on, though, because again, this early aggression, I really like what Giants have figured out. And I don't know if this is necessarily how they're always going to play their defensive side icebox, but I think this is deliberately against a Sovalus comp. They're looking for a lot of those creeps forward, forcing Angel to use that camera early.
Slow it down. Navi, they do that quite a bit, don't they? Just slow down the pace again, trying to make sure Giants aren't pushing, like you said. Of course, without the Sova, no info. But they're cool with it.
Yeah, no, I generally really like this style of play, where it's more about seeing how far forward you can get a solo player to provide information, look for a good timing on the flank or on the lurk. But now it is just creeping through with 5 players. The late drone, though, again, Giants, their protocol is around 45 to 40 seconds using that info utility or the Sage wall to try and scout out when the hit is coming in. And because Navi are playing rather slowly, it has been exactly on the mark a couple of times now.
30 seconds left.
Fatinho, oh, he spotted out Angel. He knows surely there must be someone closer, but Angel delivers Zyppan as well on the front line. Wanting some action, Cloud forced to drop back out of this. Navi, full control of it, right? Sight is there, Spike going down, and Giants not much left to work with for this post-plant. Oh! And cNed just walks up and deletes Nukkye's head.
Yeah, that's a quick save call right there. I think Giants got a little bit over-ambitious. They just had a couple seconds before the Viper wall went up, and they all tried to take a fight.
The thing is, Giants figured out it was going to be an A hit way too late, right? By the moment that Fatinho figured out that Angel was close by, the rest of Navi was right in front of him, was right at the bottom of this A site.
I actually think that was all right, though, because Giants had 3 players on the A site with the 5. They saw the majority of players, I believe, with that drone. The issue was they didn't actually play off of any utility. They had 3 individual players take 3 individual fights, and 3 of those players, they all lost. Whereas, you know, there's options, maybe throw up the Viper wall, play behind that, stall more time, as that is going to be a threat working against the enemy team. Because generally you can, you know, sort of hold your ground on the site pretty effectively there, especially when you have as many as 3 players. But there you have it, 1 fight over there. Then we're swinging into Maze with a wall out in our hands. Like, I actually think that was just very poor play from Navi after the initial scouting that they did get.
Interesting fact here for people that haven't really been in the know about players and the teams and such. Cloud is actually playing against his former org, Navi. Even though it's a completely different lineup, not ex-teammates at that. Definitely ex-organization, so maybe some extra feelings in for this one. Early pick from cNed though, Fatinho's out. Talk about that duelist head-to-head. Well, we're already seeing it play out.
Navi saying, okay, yeah, we'll show you some early fights in A. That hasn't really been something Navi have gone for previously.
Hoody easy looking in the right direction. He's going to peek through Angel. Oh, it's uncomfortable. Oh, and he just barely misses out on Angel.
No.
And Angel's just following through. Creep forwards, mate. The B site is yours.
They don't want to overextend, because if you go past yellow there and the wall drops, there's too many angles to actually fight. So all they can do is take yellow control, clear back yellow. But that's actually enough to bring the rest of the team over towards the B site.
Hoody knows he's alone, which means he has to do some heavy lifting here, but he does drop. Giants fall further back. Navi just chip away at this squad. And every single time they enter onto the site, every single time they're on the B, on any of these sites and the spike is down, they're ahead.
Oh, this is big, though. All of a sudden, 5v3 turns into 4 versus 4 as Giants commit 2 ultimates. Now, they also have the lockdown if they want to use that, and that's really powerful when trying to retake the B site. I think that's one of the reasons why SUYGETSU is trying to fight forward there. He's trying to find some kind of a pick, give a chance. You can also see cNed going for this late reflank underneath mid. Navi are trying to fight before the ult hits them, but it's too late and they're losing.
It is. This has gone down very differently than what Navi would have liked, but cNed is trying to draw things back in his favor. Zyppan ends up dropping. cNed having to drop through that wall here, but there's just so many players around him. Giants, good response with ults, good response with the play, and now back on the board and ahead on the scoreline as well.
Well done, Giants. Yeah, they lose the opening pick. The actual site rotation over to B from Navi, I really like from them. But then using these ultimates at the same time to even the playing field, and then having the awareness, having the reactions to fight against some of the forward aggression that Navi were throwing their way. Shut down any options. They didn't even have to use the lockdown, right? That's what Navi were trying to counter out. That's why they were trying to fight forward, but because they get sliced down before he even comes in, That's still going to be an option heading into the next. And another one of the issues on the site hit, I think, may have been the Sage Wall, too. It sort of trapped the planter inside the corner versus the Sovolt, you know? It's a very, tight wall that ended up giving no room to really try to dodge that one away. Bit unfortunate.
At that point, you're kind of like, dude,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm going to commit to the plant. It's going to go down, but I know I'm going to die.
Yeah, it's like the theory behind that wall is it gives you, I think, more protection to run away and deflect bullets from someone that's playing Deep Snowman. But specifically against that Sovolt, a tough time to be the spike planter for sure.
10 rounds in, Giants ahead. Well, 9 rounds in, now jumping into the 10th. Cloud, actually promising performance, right? A lot of people have been looking to this young gun, 19 years old, in fact, doing quite a bit already on the server. Whatever role he's put in, he's always had an impact on this fragging ability. Now, NAVI, quick onto this A site. Giants actually have a strong allocation of players nearby.
I like this a lot, right? cNed was successful with the opening pick last time around, and they also have the Sage Wall, right? So that body is pretty far extended. They may need to use the Sage Wall to res that one through, but as they trade out a couple of kills, all of a sudden much more doable, and Zyppan falls all the way back behind Belt. It's exactly what NAVI wanted from the opening.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that they just take these fights on the long distance. But of course, NAVI can afford to do that. Now, Giants, no, they're on the back foot, which is why you see Cloud taking a chance. Moves on forwards. Yes, he's not finding anyone, but that also gives him info, right? By the process of elimination, no one this close could illustrate that the focus of their opposition is towards the other side.
He's played in this spot over by Jail before, but I don't think he's ever been spotted by NAVI on their attack. It hasn't actually happened. So that would catch them off guard. Of course, NAVI moving over towards the B site. And one thing to note in the post plant here, Angel's been doing this for the last few rounds. He's holding on to both his tripwires. Again, very unreliable at guarding out the flanks, and he's been placing them in the late round after the spike goes down.
30 seconds.
Something Giants are going to have to be mindful of on the retake.
Yeah, Guardian not the best gun to shoot with through the smoke, but still, Spike will be going down.
Watch mid, though, because again, they have to be able to find a pinch to break that lockdown. Nukkye is killing everyone, though.
Yeah, Nukkye's able to find it as well, delivering the information for Cloud to jump in as well to help out, because he's going to appear behind Angel right now, trying to kill him up, but Angel is ready for it. Well, now that's a plot twist. Nukkye, though, staying alive, and he's short it down to a duel. A one-on-one against Shao. Holding out the angle, pushing forth, and it's Shao to pick it up. Look him in the eyes and put a bullet between them. And now we've got square scoreline 5-5.
The Navi mid-rounding right there, absolutely fantastic, deciding to late split into B, knowing, again, that lockdown was the plan from nukkye, so they wanted to have the ability to pinch down on it. Of course, they don't end up being successful in that regard, but the yellow players end up surviving, winning out in the clutch, giving their team enough of a chance in the 1v1 to come away with that one. Now cNed actually going into the operator on attack here, looking for an opening pick. Now this does make actually executing into the site a little bit more challenging later on. There are options to throw that back to a backliner and swap over to a rifle when you do end up committing into the site, but cNed currently just prowling for some early fights.
Yeah, so far the game hasn't been messy at all, has it? Sort of mostly being dictated from the first few engagements. Only rarely showing into clutch as cNed with the first blood. Coutinho sticks by, plays still in arms. He needs his pick and he picks it up through the smoke. Watching the shoulder, cNed ready for it. And now, NAVI take the opportunity. They're going to move into the site, get the spike down, but Giants going to take a while until Rhyme is able to rotate over.
It looks like Rhyme may end up trying to go for a flank. This tripwire, I do believe, is a diagonal tripwire that blocks off both entrances into B main. It is. And Rhyme's not going to deal with that. Instead, worried about that late mid reflank that's not coming through this time around.
And there's been so many lurks happening. He's got to be scared about what's going on, right? He's got to be scared about where they are, where they're hiding. But yeah, that's the round. They're going to have to drop back, save, and give NAVI this victory.
Yeah, fantastic openers there from cNed. Finding them with the operator and then using the verticality. I actually think one of the benefits, usually I'm a big disbeliever in using the operator on Jet on attack throughout the entire round. I do believe in maybe using it for some opening picks. But I think especially on that B site, because B site isn't a site with a lot of corners you have to clear once you get through B main, and you don't necessarily have to be using your ability to dash to dive into site.
Last round before the
Quick little
switch.
trade over by A main. I actually think it makes a lot of sense there for cNed just to post up on those, vertical angles, top green, top yellow. And it was very successful for him there, even just murdering the jump peak.
I'm actually glad we got to see cNed POV there. He was playing within the smoke. Obviously, nukkye losing his life, but still picking up the pieces by the end of it.
Daily reminder, Berlin, that you guys are absolutely awesome. The fans have been so loud all these days, showing up for their teams, and quick trades in mid keeps this round afloat. 4 versus 4. Now, Hoody does have the ultimate. He can go into if he wants.
Ooh, SUYGETSU. Going for a stroll. Fancies the weather. It's a bit chilly out, but sunny day. Hoody. Oh, reads it.
That's good awareness, right? The second your Killjoy drops in mid, you better believe someone on the attack is going to try to find an opportunity to lurk up. Now, NAVI, they hear this drone. They know at least one player's here. This is going to give them info of the second. Do they go in? If they do, they have to go quickly. You can see Angel immediately trying to capitalize.
It's real risky, right? Sticking into that as well, pushing forwards. Whether the side is set up, it's going to be a tough choice.
Hoody's very safe too. He actually ulted all the way up from on top of Raptor, so he can look down, get that first angle on his opponents. The fact the spike got planted at all is insane.
Giants moving together. They're going to have to play the numbers advantage here and play for the trades. That's their way in.
Already a tripwire placed on site. 2 trips that Angel's going to try to swing off Maze to play through.
They're thinking of pushing through this Viper spit further. They want to clear it forwards, but no, they're going to actually go for the fight. Angel spotted out through the smoke. Hoody's going to spray through it. Jumps out of it as well. That's a triple kill for Hoody, and it allows Shao to be alone. But how are you going to stop him when there's a wall up against the spike? This is a done round where Giants will be able to square things up again. 6-6 halftime. It's as close as it could be.
Switching sides.
Great way to kick off the first game of the day right there. Vitinho and Cloud having a bit of a half, I have to say, for themselves. NAVI getting creative after losing a few of those first early rounds. But now I think the challenge for Giants, because they were so unsuccessful against Fnatic, it's Fnatic, of course, that's going to be really tough for them. But one thing that NAVI have going for them is they have a map. They get to see some of those attack-sided tendencies.
Yep.
A lot of what we saw from Giants was late round B hits, right? If they weren't committing fully into a site right off the rip, it was always going to be getting some scouting up through mid, leaving a lurk over towards B, and then moving back into that into late round. That's a tendency that I'm sure NAVI are going to be aware of.
It was definitely a battle of the brains, so I'm glad we got the actual giant from Giants, Milan, with Yinsu right now to get his thoughts of this game.
I'm so glad you mentioned brains, Pavlos. That's right, I've got Milan, the analyst of Giants, with me. First of all, Milan, I didn't expect to see them on stage playing Icebox so soon after the Fnatic game, so tell me why that was floated again today.
I think the main reason we're still open to playing Icebox instead of Fracture is because I feel like Fnatic is a slightly weaker team on Icebox than they are on Fracture. That's the reason we kind of left it open. We feel more confident on this compared to Fracture, but that doesn't mean that we will not play Fracture whatsoever.
Oh, okay. Now, you haven't had too many days to kind of prepare for this game, but we've seen a change in the comp already. Nukkye, I've never seen him play Killjoy before, so what was the reasoning behind this?
I think the main reason for this change in general is mainly from picking KO instead of Sage right now. Rhyme has a little bit more playing with the pack and that sort of stuff, and nukkye offered to play Killjoy, lurking around a little bit, and we only played 2 games. This is the second time we play it, so far so great.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that, the way they play so far? You happy?
I'm happier than yesterday. I think we started off really well. I was hoping we would be able to finish it the same way we started it, but 6-6, I can't really complain about that.
Okay, last question very quickly. What do the boys need to do? Just one thing you'd like to see them do if they want to close this out.
I want to see them win the second pistol and the 7 following rounds after that. Let's do that.
There's a lot riding on that, Milan. Thank you very much for your time. You heard it from him. Giants, they need to win this pistol. Ender and Pavlos, let's see if they can.
I told you guys he was a giant, right? There's 2 people in this stadium that make me feel small. I'm just as a reminder, I am about 1.86 m, something like that, and Ender and Milan just make me feel
so you're actually
tiny.
like 178.
When I'm next to you guys, yes, I feel like that, or even less.
I will stand next to him. I'll see who's actually taller between the 2 of us. But we get into the second half of Icebox here, and Giants Curious to see what new stuff they've been able to cook up for us today. After a pretty tough match here against Fnatic previously. Now, we didn't see a ton of full aggro commits onto site. And Giants are playing slowly to claim some space, but they're about to explode forward.
And that's the thing about Navi, right? When they're attacked, they're going to pace the game however they want, right? They're going to make the game as inhumanly uncomfortable as possible they can for their opponents. So now it's Giants' turn to try and set the tempo. But look, how far forward they're going to push forward onto the site. Navi already here. cNed the only one to find a kill for his team, while Giants are able to take over.
Shao does have wall for the retake. He's put in good position, and Giants are playing fairly far back at the moment. No one entrenched deep backside or anything like this. They do have to get through. Cloud playing top site. He's only 50 HP, so he's going to get absolutely popped here.
Yeah, finds Sheriff, has to reload though. He's going to buy some time. SUYGETSU, I don't think he spotted out the back of his opponent there. Shao not able to hit his shot. SUYGETSU trying to pick up the pieces, but Shao not be able to do so. Giants ahead as they enter the second half with success.
Nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Solid opener right there. Moving over towards Maze as well to wall off screens. I like that as a variation and actually giving your spike planner much more protection than the default Sage wall we see just going backside. That one, especially on rifle rounds, ends up getting broken down so quickly. And obviously tons of util being thrown your way. So Giants with the rifle advantage may just end up running this one straight back again. Similar ideas to the first half with a couple of Bulldogs, the Guardian, and a Phantom. What was that slow orb trying to do?
Was that Shao as a slow orb? All right.
I don't think so. I think that had to be Shao's.
He must probably a misclick, trying to shoot it forwards and it hit a wall and it bounced back, probably. Either way, Giants. Closer to this, Shao delivering. It took a while for that Guardian to make the job work, but does end up costing Coutinho's life, really. And the fact that nukkye is fairly low as well, there's chance for Navi to do damage with his pistols up against this SUYGETSU, who wants to drop forwards, find ahead potentially, but really isn't capable of much. It's a tough world here for Navi, as there's 4 remaining for Giants and cNed, with just the Marshal hemming down sights. Just creeping his way into the lines then, really.
This is where you shift enter, cringe, fight me. What is this, man?
Ooh.
Oh my! Don't fight him!
Okay, Cloud does, and just keeps on walking, shaking it off.
Look, I respect it. Cloud is a run and gun disciple. That is not okay. Absolutely just mowing him down right there, not giving cNed much of a chance.
Hey,
now though,
works.
hey, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That being said, though, actually Cloud having quite a game, 18 kills for himself on the Sova. But one thing that I did notice in Giants play versus Fnatic on their attacking half is they like to spread out a lot early rounds and sort of catch early aggression. Oftentimes that meant 2 players over near B main, 2 towards A main, 1 player holding the fort down mid. You can see similar ideas with them guarding, you know, a little bit more forward with that Killjoy turret near A. Coutinho having this angle in mid to see if there would be a little peek around. And they love to leave players in B main. Again, this team loves to finish over near B, so I'm honestly a little surprised to see Ryan bailing out of that area. Now, one thing the Cypher gives you is that late camera in B main will scout out the late walk-up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Angel tag into that one every 15, 20 seconds or so, just to see what's up, just to see if back yellow is going to be a threat for them.
Giants looking to walk through, 1 minute mark and about to find contact. Navi pretty happy about defending this one. 3 players strong. Not too bad. Shao, first contact. Coutinho end up falling. cNed, high ground. cNed, what a flick. Doubles up and now against 3. Giants looking to move in quickly. Not allow Navi to find teammate support. cNed having to drop back with nanoswarms, having to hop his way out of there, but it's fine because Zyppan is there to help out. And everything going to plan for Navi.
30 seconds left.
The wall goes up, only 25 seconds left. Coutinho has to do something ridiculous here.
Last player standing.
Not gonna happen.
cNed's just hitting his shots today.
Yeah. Oh man, was just camped out on the backside of pipes there. Took 2 heads off as the hit comes on through. Very solid from him so far.
Seemed to be sort of a slow clear from Giants, but they couldn't quite clear off cNed from this position. He gets to, dashes away, and then that's the history of the round.
Yeah,
right?
I don't exactly remember when the drone was used, but oftentimes you almost have to use the drone to commit that close maze angle. Otherwise, you run into a lot of trouble there. On the high, on the low angle. That first player walking in can't really do both, so it becomes very, very difficult. Unless you're also swinging on the high angle there too, up on pipes. Always, though, you have to keep on your guard versus cNed. And the A main walk-ups. Now, okay, so this is the setup. Angel did this last round too. Again, mid, Killjoy, it's very simple. On the Cypher, you have to place that tripwire a little bit later. Down tube, and then also right there in mid.
Passive cam as well on B, possibly to focus out on Giants.
Yeah, there's the early drone. It will end up being a B hit here, almost certainly. But I would love to see Giants have a round here early in the half where they actually walk up in mid and see what the Cypher setup is. Because if they see that, they can break it with, utility, many things later on. You need to learn how the enemy Cypher is playing very quickly in a half. Otherwise, they're going to have permanent control down over mid.
The wall will be dropping. Nothing to stop the plant.
Spike planted.
Clean. No contact throughout that entire fight. You're probably wondering what fight.
Now, Angel, he still has the trips in mid, and Cloud is going to be able to late lurk through mid. It's very important he does not die early here. He has to be the last one to be taking fights.
This could be an explosive one. This could be a really quick one, and cNed is able to enter the fight very quickly, entering with a dash perhaps. Shao with a ward, trying to get onto the spike already, put pressure on them, spray through. They haven't been able to break it already, and it's being diffused halfway. Can they spray through it already? cNed pushing even further, but he's composed to not go too far. NAVI haven't lost their fights yet, and it's Giants under pressure. Giants need to push through. Giants need to interrupt the defuse, but they're able to do so. Nukkye stays alive, SUYGETSU is low. He can potentially deal with all of them. One bullet for cNed is all that is needed. And Nukkye, quadra kill, and Giants on 9 rounds.
Nukkye does it all there to send Giants up. The 4K to close it. And that was just, bullet hell right there on all sides, smokes everywhere. I don't think anyone knew exactly what was happening in that round. But you can see lines up the two on that. You just can't defuse the spike versus this guy. I honestly think NAVI had won the retake. They outplayed Giants getting back onto site, had full control over yellow, but then the unfortunate reality of 2 players being instantly taken down and no one being in a position to really be able to trade him from under green.
It's as if that war gave them a false sense of security. They had full control. They were on the spike. They were on their way of defusing it all. And all of a sudden, it became weaker. It became exposed. And that's when Nukkye was able to just deliver, really.
Yeah. Hard even to say that it was a misplay or anything like that,
No.
because it's just one of those situations.
cNed's got his blades, and you gotta be scared of that one.
Oh no, and the spike out exposed. The Viper wall actually blocks off the spikes. There's a quick window. I think Cloud trying to grab that one very quickly before the wall goes down.
cNed once more. Look, there are games where cNed feels it. And this game, he's feeling it. You can tell. You can tell with his movement, with his aim, it's crisp.
Important not to get too over-aggressive now. With big numbers, you don't want to give that away for free. Big ultimates on Giant side too. I don't think they're going to end up committing those, but if you find a kill, find a second, maybe there are options.
Exactly. They need to pick if they want to consider themselves in this round. And that's what they're going to go for. Cloud was one. cNed still alive. cNed! Give him the ace no. Taken down by Hoody. And actually he's going in. Yes, ultimate's not invested, but Hoody's going to try and do it all with his gun, trying to isolate Shao. Making sure Hoody is no more, punches him to the ground, and that is NAVI on 8, closing up the gap.
I feel like you can rely on a guy like cNed. Every 3rd or 4th round, it's just like, oh, he'll just straight up win it for you entirely on his own. Like, if you take your hands off mouse and keyboard, kick back, feet up on the desk, you're still completely chilling because the man will just get the job done for you.
Lazy Song vibes.
Yeah, it's just everything. That was the round for them. The Giants will call the timeout. And I do feel like I'm seeing differences in their play compared to how they placed off against Fnatic. It's a little bit more fully committal, especially over towards this A site. But I would just really implore Giants to try and work up through mid, because we have not seen that. And again, having the info of where the enemy Cypher is trying to set up allows you so much to try and break those early in round with utility, with spray, everything, especially because he has to place that trip in mid very late. You can just pop that one down on your own as he's throwing that one up. But Giants just have no idea that that's actually happening yet.
Yeah. And a dynamic that is very interesting to this game is that even though Giants are ahead, even though, I mean, it necessarily doesn't feel like any team is really ahead of the other, right? It doesn't feel like there's a team that has a grasp on this game at all. And every round that Giants wins, it never feels comfortable. Same for NAVI. It never feels like a team is doing it by a landslide.
It's always close.
It's always close, not only in the round score, but within the rounds themselves.
Yeah, 100%. Blow for blow. Going back both ways. Actually, whoa, I didn't even realize before the timeout, but every ult is available for Giants.
Wow, wee wow.
It is a true thrifty for them. The knives on Coutinho and then Sheriff's on everyone else. And they're going to play through mid. Oh, you actually don't even see that tripwire get placed.
Coutinho wants this. Tries to unlock the round for his team, but yeah, shots is taken. But of course, as unlikely as it was, the outcome isn't as he would have liked.
It's good to know, though, that you actually don't really see that tripwire get placed, at least the edges of it, because it's placed underneath tube, and then the angle on the big wall is not actually perceptible from the attacking side. They were able to break it this time, though, so potentially downloading that for future use. Oh, man. There's another player here, too.
It's just a battle, really, that Giants are trying to bother them. You know, NAVI right now, we're just chilling, and they've got some kids in the playground bothering them. And NAVI's just shaking them off right now. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this round in particular. Come on. Let's get on with this. Let's have with grown-up duty.
Yeah, I think the next step is NAVI just steal their lunch money. Just take everything from them. They're actually just playground bullies right now. Oh yeah, spend 400 credits, wall. We're not even gonna let you plant.
Hey, wait a second. These playground kids have actually been able to become quite menaces as they've gained quite a lot of ground. Yeah, but they don't really have space. No, not at all. NAVI are not really letting that happen. Or are they?
Yeah. Hey, they got a plant. We'll take those.
Yeah, they will. Maybe for a kill. Wouldn't be that bad. SUYGETSU's low. Shao as well. Could be a bullet on the Sheriff.
I'm going to say 1 kill.
Last player standing.
0 kills. Flawless from NAVI.
Well, oh, I got the average right. NAVI got 2 kills. Giants got no kills. So
no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, but that's like the mean, right?
No.
Mean median mode. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do. But if you take the average, first of all, it's 2 plus 0 divided by 2.
Yeah, you'd be fun at improv. Where's your yes and?
I'm sorry!
Just accept the things I say blindly, please.
Sorry, I studied computer science. I'm a practical man when it comes to these things.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
I am as well. I've lost myself.
I took 1 year of computer science in high school.
Yeah.
Realized it wasn't for me. Became a caster.
Yeah. I did 3 years of computer science for a bachelor and became a caster because I hated my life.
Man. I feel sorry for you wasting those 2 extra years. That's brutal.
Deploying drone.
Oh, no. Oh, we get the forward pipe salt this time. Instantly activating. That actually kills Angel. What? Just randomly snipes him off there. I think Angel had actually put a tripwire inside of the pit as well. Would have been a cool setup if your Cypher was alive.
And that's a really great advantage to Giants, right? Because so far in the attack, they haven't really been getting these first picks.
Now, what would be amazing is if someone besides Cypher died, they could have maybe still had some control around mid. Shao could rotate over, potentially grab this orb on A and go for a res. Giants need to commit into the A site because if they don't, that's a super easy res for Navi to snag.
I may be foreseeing the future here, but with the lockdown, they may try and push towards the Viper split. Could be an obscurement in what they're actually trying to go to as we see a lot of mid movement.
It's an A split!
It is. They're going to try and pincer the site players in. Ooh, Zyppan didn't get...
This is forbidden technology.
Shut
this
down.
has never worked before.
That's a double. No, it's not quite there, but Cloud is there to finish off the job. NAVI get shut down. Get clapped, really. And Giants now will be entering onto double digits already. What a beautiful round by Giants.
Giants have done the impossible. I have literally never cast a game in which an A split on Icebox has ever succeeded. It is like the play that everyone's like, oh yeah, on paper it looks good, but you always die to CT there. But I actually love the theory using the lockdown, because A, I think a lot of players, instead of running backside, might actually run out screens there, and then they get shot right in the back with the good timing. It also pays off because there's no Killjoy or Cypher. Cypher was dead at the start of the round, so they get that free walk up into mid. Everything actually went right. The stars fully aligned for that play to work out, and I like what I see.
Yeah, NAVI got a little bit too invested into their Viper split there. I thought, okay, will Giants really be stupid enough to push through it? They weren't. They weren't. They were waiting for the reinforcements to arrive from mid. So there you have it. Giants Not really allowing NAVI to gain an advantage here. Really want to be the ones in the driver's seat.
Let's not forget, too. So first of all, just this ult opening kill. Oh, got the drone tag. Actually missed that. Thank you so much for showing us the POV on that one. But then also, the mid control was lost because the Sage rotated over to try to grab Orb to go for the res, right? And the timing just worked out absolutely perfectly that as she left, instantly the attacker slipped in.
That's the cool thing about getting a pick on the attack. It's you're thinning out the resources of defense, right? If you get a pick, it means some sort of entry is open, and you have to spread out the resources that the defense have.
And there's no worse person to lose at the start of a round than your Sentinel. The person giving you that permanent information to control up through mid. This is actually the full-on budget Killjoy setup with the camera instead of turret in kitchen and the trip instead of alarm in mid. But honestly, the mid setup hasn't actually been punished. This is something that I thought maybe would have looked a little bit weaker, but seeing that under tube tripwire, I'm warming up a little bit more to the idea.
It wouldn't be too bad for NAVI if Giants do crunch onto this B site after all. It's actually pretty optimal for them. The majority of their players are here. Fadinho on first contact together with a Cloudburst just bursts out of it. Beautifully done. So SUYGETSU now over. Of course, doesn't have any snake bites, nothing to stop from this plant from taking place. The Viper Spit going even further. Shao trying to spray through it. Slow trying to delay any sort of push, but he's done his job to delay it and allow for resources to come in.
All the spam coming on down there. Absolutely huge. And because they kill Sage, no wall destroys this round. He's going to get another spam kill.
Oh, he avoids it, narrowly avoids it, but Angel is there to stop it. It's so close. Nitpicking here, really. 8 seconds. Oh, it's uncomfortable for Fadinho onto the side. cNed, how did you get it?
Watch
so
nukkye,
close.
watch nukkye.
Nukkye on the back line. Delivering blows to the sides of heads, and now we're on a 2-on-2. It's a close endeavor. Spike within the Viper Spit. cNed pushing even further forward. This man has no fear. And now it's Hoody.
2 snake bites at the ready. Clock is ticking. And the shut-off doesn't work. He still has the util.
With one snake bite, he will reveal his position. Not sure if he wants to go for that. cNed inside the Viper Spit, spots out Hoody first, and delivers the killing blow.
A stiff breeze would have killed cNed there. He'd worked all the way down to 1 HP inside of the pit. But he finds the shot to secure the round. The random spam doing so much work, and then cNed tracking nukkye after he had the insane flank opportunity. What a round. Again, one of those cNed rounds. How many has been? 3, 4 rounds? Okay, back to winning one. Straight back again for the team.
cNed's loving that the jet meta is back, I'm telling you. Turkish jet is back.
I think I heard a Turkish jet fan in the audience. All right. Giants have been using these early drones. Used them over towards A a couple of times. Now over towards B. One thing with the Giants comps, it's pretty hard to fight for back B control. You saw in the last round, there's actually no util support. There's just Fadinho winning the fight. Now, Fadinho has the jet op, which makes fighting back yellow even more punishing. Now, a lot of times you'll see Sage try to use those slorbs to hit back yellow. You can use snake bites, shock darts. You can use all that utility to try and clear it out, but last round at least, that was not the case for Giants. And if they play slowly, they're going to run into this setup where you have SUYGETSU on the slide off angle, ready to swing off of the tripwire.
He's been isolated here before. That's the dangerous part. I mean, he doesn't have anyone for direct reinforcement. Yes, Shao is nearby. Yes, maybe Angel in the proximity, but not exactly the trade fight you would like. It's a bit of a risky position, which means that he needs to get at least one before he drops to have any value into this fight. cNed pushing forward. Fadinho actually does get eliminated by SUYGETSU as he holds that ground. Fadinho loses his comfort. And now it's NAVI on top, rotating over already. They know this is where he has to hand his hold, where he has to have his stand. Quadra for him, looks for the ace, unable to find it, but the job is already done.
Give the man one more bullet, it was his. The 4K for SUYGETSU. Absolutely killing Giants there. And Giants, where's the util? You have to invest it to clear back yellow. I understand, yeah, maybe they're trying to play contact, get Fadinho an opening pick, but you spent nothing to clear this way. A dart after the initial kill had gone down. That is not good enough if you want to commit fully into the B site through main.
It was a bit of an awkward one. It felt like Vitinha tried to open that up with a pick early and without any sort of like a dry peek, right? And instead of dashing backwards into safety, he went even further forward where his teammate weren't ready to assist him with that.
It's one of those gamble plays that on the surface, like, okay, it's not terrible. But then, after you lose the jet, how do you then punish? Because it's not like after that point where you have 3 players in the open, you can then bust out your utility and throw it back there to clear. Now you're just walking into the crosshair.
And now he's dropped back to a Sheriff, right? He had the operator the previous round now. What are you going to do? The full stack of Navi with rifle galore.
Here.
Big mismatch, really, in their arsenal. Which begs the difference, right? It begs the question, how do Giants come back? They've had the lead so far. They were squaring round for round. But now, finally, Navi are on top. They haven't really been there for a while. And they're actually 2 rounds from closing it out. So this is the worst moment for Giants to lose that advantage.
Remember when I told you Giants always finish B? Here it is again. Sort of test the water outside A, instantly over here. But this is where I think the Cypher camera actually gives so much value to spot these late B hits. Hasn't actually caused too many rotations to come over. I don't know how many players it saw when it was tapped into. Here comes the cavalry, though.
Oh, it's uncomfortable. Cloud gets picked off.
30 seconds.
I mean,
left.
how lucky are Giants, though, that the Sage is not the one that dropped.
Yeah.
Rhyme getting that off gives them a chance.
And with the res, they believe in this round. They definitely do. Spray down towards Cloud's position. It's able to stop him from being resurrected, giving him an extra death onto his score. Still, Navi looking to peek on forwards. Actually going to be a very aggressive attempt to take over Yellow.
They're so deep.
They're really trying to push Giants into a corner here. Squash them in, make them feel uncomfortable. It's being defused and the wall hasn't even been broken. Defusal successful. Navi on 12, 1 away from closing out map number 1.
Match point.
Giants just got completely pushed back there. Yeah, that was always going to be a tough round. But the Viper Orb made it impossible. You play 3 players in main, no chance for them to actually come out swing and threaten the planter. They have to be doubled up back Yellow. This is actually an area where Fnatic really punished them. The B retakes. Giants were fighting too far forward versus Fnatic, losing theirs. Now playing a little bit too deep. Not in positions to trade off one another, just leaving Vitinho to his own devices back Yellow. And Giants aren't going to want to mess with B again. Nukkye does have the ultimate this time around.
Take flight.
Previously, they used that one to split their way into A. I don't think the opportunity is going to be there. Not all the pieces of the puzzle coming together for them on that, but they can just drop that one back pipes and get into the site. But you can see Navi have the read. They can play back rafters, maybe look for a late swing there. As you can see, there's a lot of room back site, and you can pop this Viper Pit and hold on to it. Actually, I think you have to go all the way to the other side of Rafters, or you risk losing it entirely.
The thing is, SUYGETSU can just walk for a second out of side of his Viper's Pit and just walk back into it to make sure it's still there.
There it is.
Giants making a really difficult decision trying to move into it when the Viper's Pit is already into the site, covering all edges. Cloud delivering, keeping Giants on top, on the game, still in contention. Rhyme close to the spike. They're not going to play too far back from this. They need to play on the site. Pushing forwards, Navi not relenting. Zyppan and cNed winning on their trades. That's what they need. Giants eager to find a pickup, and Vitinho high ground delivering, having a good read of the area. Now Rez coming forwards, Navi is well pressured. Nukkye and Rhyme pushing further, 2-on-2. It's close, but SUYGETSU wants his team to be on top. cNed pushing in, but he's alone. Solo endeavor. Operator drop for a Vandal, better weapon for the situation. What? Rhyme deleted, and now it's up to get Nukkye. SUYGETSU, he's so low, being diffused. Nukkye has to push it. Shorty and out for SUYGETSU. Not getting it though. Still, 1-on-1, running out of time. Nukkye has done it. The round goes to Giants.
Nukkye keeps Giants alive here on Icebox again for the team. Has been impeccable in the clutch. Pulling the heartstrings of Navi fans. A battle on 2 levels here in the Coliseum. Down in the pit and up in the up at the stands.
These players need a breather now. That was a tense post plant, really fast paced. Battles all across the site as well, right? There was a backline push. There was infiltration. There was a resurrection that had to be punished. There was so much going on. All of it happened so quickly. And it's a matter of who is able to keep up with that action that came out on top. But as well, Giants had the advantage. They had the spike down. If the pressure is on, they've got the guarantee that if the timer gets run out, it's their victory in the end.
Yeah, you know, Giants also got that early opening kill onto Angel. I think Angel's trying to jump rafters to top site and just got sniped straight out of the air before the rest of the team was really there to supplement on the retake. Maybe jumping the gun just a touch, putting his team at a numbers disadvantage. And this is like clockwork. This is what I was talking about earlier against Fnatic, 2-1-2. Very standard for them. Try and get Vitinho and Hoody up in B main if that ends up being the option. It's also possible Vitinho with the knives. Oh, he might go for a double updraft and look into B main.
Yeah, we might be looking actually 2 blades being enabled from both sides.
Here.
That's what it is. If they want to time a B main hit with Vitinho going on the double updraft, they could really punish the forward positioning. Navi could potentially be in. As I say that, though, Zyppan's actually backing away, so that won't be the option for them.
Giants looking to move now towards this B site. SUYGETSU there to greet them, as always.
In the post plant, too, Cloud will have the Hunter's Fury. No one else with an ultimate really to play off of.
He's let a couple pass, obviously. Not able to see due to the toxic screen.
SUYGETSU hasn't fought very forward on yellow. He's played that off angle more often than not, so I actually like him throwing some variation into that, looking for the peak, playing fully on the left-hand side there.
Due to the 2-1-2 setup, as you said, of course, due to the dedication of the
big.
defense, we're going to be looking at a retake here from Navi, possibly trying to trade through SUYGETSU. That's his job, this one. Drop back, find the info, make sure you buy as much time for your team to arrive to have a favorable matchup in the end.
Some utils spent backside, no shocks or anything, just the slow, but no one's actually there. Navi gonna play to stall. 25 seconds, look at all the util to stop this one.
They didn't quite time it right. They got into it together with the fragment and the snake bite, but the Hunter Story is there to deliver still. 2 for 2 traded, pushing even further. Look how far Vitinho is pushed in. He's got the blades out. Still 3-on-3. The spike isn't down yet, and it's Vitinho that holds it. He wants to frag, but he's got to get his duty down. Put that spike on the floor.
cNed has the operator going double updraft. Cut out of the sky from Cloud.
Plane goes down. Cloud shoots it. And now Angel and Shao on the case. It's their chance to close it out here. Else will be going to overtime. And that's where the pressure mounts. Wall dropping in. Angel on the far angle. Shao alone. Blades out in front of him. Vitinho right click. Giants bring things to an overtime against Navi.
Switching sides. Over.
Cloud with the pick on cNed there. That was the difference maker. He's completely out in the open. Needed to shut it down. And this idea from Giants was wild as well, right? All the stall util was going down on site to use the Hunter's Fury to play Disrupt while the rest of the team was pushing through their own Viper Wall towards Snowman. Very rare you see that deep Snowman push, especially with the wall that cuts you off from it entirely. And it went all right. Kills were traded back well enough for Giants in that situation. Now they move back over to the defensive side. And so much of that defensive half was about the more aggressive A-main step-ups from Giants. They didn't blast at you right away, but they would try to put themselves anchored in forward positions. So Shao's idea is to use the Slorb to try and shut that down.
They've been so equal, 6-6 at the first half, 6-6 on the second half, and now they're into overtime.
The knife saw 2, I believe, as well. But that has not dissuaded Cloud one bit.
2 rounds in a row required from each team to get the victory now.
Look at the way those 3 players are playing. Double high angles there, then also on the ground with Vitinho. Rhyme ended up backing off just to guard in mid. Because they actually don't have the Sentinel utility. That's all been busted.
Look at the push from Giants. They may opt to move from Kitchen, but no, they're double back from it. Not the decision they're making now. Slow and steady wins the race here for Navi, just as the first half they've illustrated.
They loved doing this wrap, right? You'll see Angel go forward in front of Yellow. They'll throw up the Viper Wall to get him to wrap around. The second the Viper Wall goes up, Hoody has to look
Angel's
left.
walk past. Angel's walk past. He's on site. He could potentially crunch onto Yellow, but he's left it behind. Look at Hoody. Spots out Angel. Now he's dead, and Giants on the front foot.
Phenomenal awareness there from Hoody, knowing the play and the timing when that could be coming through. They didn't even throw the Viper Wall, but now Navi have to commit with only 3 players into A.
The meat and potato of this course, though, is going to be this A side. Oh,
What?
Giants! They rotate over! They rotate over!
That's an all right gamble. Oh, SUYGETSU finds the kill on nukkye. Now, Giants, they put down the wall at 30 seconds. Now they have to retake 4v4.
That's a free gift for NAVI. They get themselves onto the site, spike down, trade in equally, and that's good for them, but it's still 3-on-3. cNed on the back flank. Giants have come in quickly, but Hoody not quite yet into the fight. Giants not going to be patient for it, though. Cloud taking action to his own hands. Hoody finally arriving. Reinforcements are here, but still, NAVI dropping. Vitinha in the fight, SUYGETSU alone. Can he do it? One found. Vitinha underneath them. Make sure he reaches the ground. And now with 13 for Giants, they're the ones on map points.
Giants had their backs against the wall.
Match point.
String together 3 here, now on match point. And it was the awareness from Hoody here. Again, I didn't think he would turn around until he heard the Viper wall come up, knowing the timing of the play that had previously been used to stab him in the back. But that's the problem. If you don't throw that wall up, Angel has to go all the way forward and fully clear the site, or else get backstabbed on that angle, which is much more likely a player is holding. That threw the round into chaos. Still, NAVI had a chance. But I think it was Giants continuing to hit the gas, right?
Yeah.
They instantly retake. The second the spike was planted, they had 2 players dropping down out of rafters, which caught NAVI completely off guard.
This is something Doombros loves to do. Whenever you feel things are getting out of hand, when your players are losing fights, when things need to be shaken off, when the situation gets a bit rough, Doombros calls a timeout. He does this exactly right now on overtime. Arguably the most important round of this game so far.
What's it going to be for NAVI? Hard to come into a round like this and have a huge plan in terms of regression. It's just something you don't see all too often on Icebox, unless you try to activate some kind of fast flank. But cNed, who has been so successful with the operator so far today, will be going into that with no armor. I think the majority of time he was actually upping over towards the A site, up on generator. So the fact that he's not this time around, the hold is going to be fairly weak from Giants. They do have some scouting if they want to use Zyppan's knife. Curiously enough, sending 1 shock dart to get a little bit of chip damage if someone was playing for the orb. Shao, perhaps, trying to cheese a res late into the round. And that drone does nothing. That actually causes some problems. Now, no one's playing Maze this time around, but we've seen how many times cNed's been poached exactly right there and punished Giants on the attack without the drone.
Yeah, the only thing the old drone really did there is force Zyppan out of that position, because now they would know where he is. But now switches up, now onto the back side of things. Shao does drop a wall early, but there's an Natus to his feet, and I don't think he quite knows it yet, or at least hasn't taken attention to it. If it does get
Yeah, he's going to take some
at
damage.
that moment.
On the other side, he was fully blinded when it dropped, so
He's
had
got
no
a hide
idea.
in. He's fine.
Giants still taking their time, but they don't actually have that late B player, so there's no real rotation out of the site for them, and yet NAVI are still mindful of that. cNed has not abandoned the site, and even Angel has walked back towards kitchen.
Giants 40 seconds on the clock. NAVI really good read on this 3 players, but not with all of them just yet. They don't have the full picture.
30 seconds left.
I think they could have just waited for the wall to go down. Doesn't matter, though. They've wrapped around with that wall off on screen.
They haven't dealt with Shao, and that's exactly what Vitinha is going to go for straight away. Doubles up. There's a SUYGETSU at the back of the site. Very low, not dealt with yet. But look how quickly NAVI have responded. All on site already. Just as the spike goes down, NAVI are looking to go in for the fight. Into it. cNed first to chime through with a kill for NAVI. And that's what you need. Have the most crowned duelists probably in the world. Out of Europe for sure, do the heavy lifting in the last round, trying to put your team on top still. It is Hoody alone, and SUYGETSU is able to take him down. NAVI equalizing once again. We're going to another overtime.
NAVI, they slow down the initial hit, and then look very strong on the retake, even with an attacking Viper roll towards A.
Switching sides.
A rarity so far this game for Giants, that's for sure. And the fact that cNed just finds that tight angle, just a shoulder, to find an opener, makes things so much more simpler for SUYGETSU to finish the job. NAVI have converted a lot of their attacking rounds into fighting that A main with players up on belt, and it's actually going to be Giants the one to call the timeout.
Yeah, back-to-back these timeouts.
A lot of breathers, you know? I
A
feel
lot
like
of breathers,
there is a bit of a meta in in overtime when it comes to timeouts, because you don't want to wait too long to use them, otherwise the game's all the way over, and these coaches definitely have a lot to say to their players. So you'll see them come out right off the rip, and then if it becomes a long game, those players are stranded out there completely on their own. So it's very important to set up your team, understanding the tendencies of the other team, especially how they played their attack, their defense. Remind them, especially like in those first couple of rounds, after you've just played 12 on attack and you switch over to defense, it's very easy as a player on the stage to forget some of those tendencies that you had worked out. And the coach with the mindset, with the notes, can sort of bring that back into play.
Yeah, this is a clear EMEA game, EMEA fight. The meta, the way these teams approach this game, you know, Giants, traditional comps, same with NAVI on the most part. You know, NAVI do like to have the magic
Cypher excluded.
on the most part. That's why I added that in there. But still, the way they've been approaching it, the macro game, tactically fight it out, and this is a very aggressive peek here from nukkye.
This is unique. We have not seen Giants do much of this. Now, last round, Giants played on defense. We saw a later push up mid from nukkye, if I remember correctly. But this time, he has just been able to post himself right up there.
Yeah, something we haven't really seen on the postman, right? Have too much of a pincer on the back.
But I actually think this has been the read, because SUYGETSU's also playing in spawn. He was able to catch nukkye in mid when he was rotating off of B, and he's expecting to see a similar play from him now.
He's just vibing, holding out. He can use his utility, help out his team with his toxins, but he can hold this ground and make sure that the rotation is clear.
I think that drone actually didn't quite tag Zyppan. Shao is the only one seen by that, so that's not going to cause any rotations to move over towards A! Angel!
Falls into the trap. Head ripped off. Giants with the advantage.
The aggression pays off. Actually, a very forward tripwire, too. Now NAVI have to convert into A. There's no going back.
They still don't have a read on this, right? Giants still have no clue what's going on, so the rotation will come in late. But that is crucial for Rhyme and each defender of the site to hold down the fort while they can. And that's exactly what they do on the front foot. Cloud delivering. NAVI finding a blockade here, unable to break through. cNed, he's going to try and push for this. Bulldogs his way through, but Rhyme, no. He's just going to be the thorn that prohibits him from taking another step. Giants, 14 on. Another chance for them to close out this map.
Switching sides. Match point.
Wow. The hold right there, these late Sage Walls too, make it so frustrating for NAVI on the attack to do anything if they don't have some presence elsewhere on the map. They're just sort of stuck behind it. It won't break until after the round's already over. So they get funneled in through one area, trying to play up on top 410. Rhyme wasn't going to let that happen whatsoever. And now Giants back to a spread out attack.
Standing ahead.
Will Darton actually take the peek up towards Belt, it looks like, as well. SUYGETSU has been such a phenomenal anchor for NAVI over near B. This time not actually playing back yellow.
Defense and retake power of NAVI has been exquisite so far. No wonder Giants are just scratching their heads on this one. And they're scared, right? They're not taking any chances.
That was so clever, pulling back the tripwire. I think he assumed that someone heard that, so when the orb goes up, that's the cover you need to be able to break the trip. He pulls it back, and it actually dodges away from the shock dart. Very good mind games out of Angel.
It's just the micro plays at the end of the day, isn't it, sometimes? Could make the difference. Ooh, okay. This time the cam did spot out movement towards the left-hand side.
Yeah. Also, the drone was shut off from Cloud. He is going to be noted over towards A and abandon that endeavor entirely.
Note that the time is starting to tick down, already at 33 seconds. There's not much time for Giants to work with.
30 seconds left.
NAVI like to play so deep on site. It all comes down to the spam from Angel
And
to
like
stop
to
the plant.
They really like to stall it out. Snakebite after Fragment. Out of anything else, they can stop this.
Still
Slow
two
Snakebite
Snakebites.
pushing forward. Zyppan on the back foot here, but still delivering. Shao as well. NAVI winning out on this fight. Giants need a miracle. Spike out into the open. They need to collect it. They need to win the fight, but they don't have much time. They don't have anything. They don't have players. They don't have util. They don't have space. NAVI suffocating them and keeping this game on.
I think NAVI are overthinking the walls right now, going for a very deep Sage wall that just gets instantly broken down. Then you have absolutely no chance to actually get a plant off on that site. NAVI just continuing to take fights, and because I think Giants took so long, they were waiting for their second rotation of the Viper wall to come on up, but it doesn't last for long enough, so NAVI are playing on top of that, waiting for it to drop, punishing every single time. NAVI have been exploiting Giants in those windows of opportunity on the B side hits. Giants have not found much luck over there. And you can even see some of the change-ups in strategy. After playing so deep towards spawn last round, SUYGETSU walks up more aggressively in mid. If he drops, there is still a Cypher trip to make sure there's no late flank or late push to hold a more forward angle in mid and cut off rotations. Although unlike a Killjoy turret, you can still get right up close behind it and hold to cut off any solo players from rotating back towards the rest of their team.
The players are actually so focused right now, their eyes are piercing their screens.
It all comes down to Vitinho. How many times have we seen this? NAVI don't have the most amazing util to try and clear him out back here. You have to commit the C4, and cNed with the operator doesn't want to dash in to clear that either. It's really tough to commit into this guy.
It's so tough. Vitinho, he's won so many duels so far, very good on his scoreboard, but can he deliver now that he's suppressed? No way to fall back, has to hold through until he's able to use that dash again and drop back. Zyppan flashing forward, great flash from him. Vitinho looks away and still gets the kill. How does that even happen? Back to safety, Giants on top, so he gets you through the smoke. Question mark.
Hold on, they're abandoning. Look at the position Angel's taken all the way up through A. It caused the rotations. Now again, they're concerned, and from underneath tube, there's still an angle. nukkye has the angle to try and take the fight.
Shao was able to cross forwards. How many other players can manage to walk in? nukkye able to take down one, but the site is theirs. Oh, look at this. Angel's missed out on cNed. It's going to give him a really bad idea of how free the site is. Angel taking one. Cloud taking him down as well. Cloud and, well, Shao and cNed are so low, and they need to keep themselves alive to make this stick happen. nukkye delivering still, meaning that Shao is all alone. He's got res, but no space to use it. Now walks in. Rhyme caught with his pants down.
He has the res.
Res gonna be used, and Angel back to life.
nukkye, what can he do now? He still has to get onto the spike, chase down these two players.
He's going around trying to make sure that they don't know where he's coming from. nukkye! 4 kills to his name, and the clutch, putting Giants right back on top.
nukkye is unbeatable in the late round. Clutch after clutch, round after round, stolen away from NAVI. And what a chaotic round. It's his position in mid that finds the first kill to even give them an opportunity. And then what is that? Jumping around, trying to loop back towards Rafty, you'd imagine, but just gets caught with his pants down. nukkye will punish that every single time.
No wonder this guy has been such a player to watch throughout 2022. Yes, with his team, hasn't been able to reach the heights NAVI or Fnatic did. FAX, if you might want to call NAVI back in that year. But still, this player has shined so much. His clutch potential, visible over and over again. Probably the most influential clutch he's had so far this year. And maybe more to come.
And it's a gamble A stack from NAVI. Just a Cypher cam on B. It's a free plant completely.
They know of it. They know of it, at least that. NAVI, they're happy for this retake. They've been able to be successful in the B site retake so many times. Snakebite not deterring. Whoa, it's actually touching right here. He's sticking it, and he's lost so much health, and the spike hasn't even gone down.
And I think the right chunk of his wall actually blocks it off. You can't plant in front of that portion of wall.
They've got 1 minute on the clock and a decision to make. All the defenders are here for NAVI.
Giants have really run into issues trying to plant on this B site, the Sage wall. Oftentimes not giving, you just need that extra chunk in case you get forced off like that. Just slightly more forward, slightly less angled.
Giants split up their attempt. 3 towards mid, two left behind. Spike as well, leaning towards B. Of course, mid push. Oh, they're going through mid, underneath. Oh, they spotted out Angel's gun, but SUYGETSU covering it. Do they peek it? It's going to be traded correctly for Giants. They're now on top, and they've got space for the spike.
And the positioning of nukkye, right? He can get up into kitchen if he wants. It's so hard to re-clear here with full B-site control on Giants.
Shao on the fight. Wall to cross through, but Vitinho will definitely know of his position. There's a pass from bottom, there's a pass from on top, and still, it is going to be traded for Shao. Rhyme. Battle of the Sages. Shao wins that one out. Hoody alone, but still capable. Very capable. And now a 1-on-2 as Shao brings Zyppan back to life. Can they touch the spike? That's the question. They know exactly where Hoody is. The pressure is mounting. Touched once. Hoody doesn't buy it. Touched 5 times already, but now eventually defuse halfway. Peek out. Hoody, what a shot! Stop defusing. Still, snakebite in his hand. Could be possible. And it's stuck with NAVI win the round and keep this game going.
Switching sides. Overtime.
There's just absolutely no way. Just out of eyesight. Oh man, what a retake though. Shao going up on his own wall here, swinging on aggressively forward. And then even having the res. Like, literally, that is the definition of your battle sage right there. Right, fighting your way through an OT round, building your way back up into an ultimate, into the res. That is the player to defuse the spike and win it all for your team.
Look, being a fan for either of these teams can't be easy, right? Right now, you're feeling a bit frustrated. Imagine how frustrated the players are. Things aren't connecting as they would have liked. Opportunities, 3 opportunities for Giants to close out this game. 3 of them. Still unable to do so. Has to mess with your mental.
It does. Navi, though, they just need to get an attack round win. Problem is, look at the positioning over near Maze. 2 players to clear on through and no info to get the job done. Zyppan has some flashes, and actually the camera, I always forget the camera. Just gonna pop that one out there. Still, Vitinho has been able to creep up forward. The camera didn't see him.
Vitinho again, the man in charge, the gatekeeper perhaps. Angel right in front of him, dashes out into safety. Hoody is there as well. Giants win trades. How many rounds have finished like this? It's not all over, not yet. Navi still in the fight, but 3 remaining. But 40 seconds to make a decision. Stick to it or rotate over.
A little bit too slow there, not instantly punishing off the info of the camera. Vitinho is able to re-step back up there, get out, no problem.
Stick to
30
it.
seconds left.
Hold your horses. Navi giving it another go. 3 defenders,
Contact?
man. Yeah. But with 2 players holding the same angle, nobody looking in the direction that Navi potentially could have pushed, but no. Wall drops, they know where Shao is, Spike Go is down. They're going to give him a chance to go for it. Hoody on top, but still delivering SUYGETSU, dropping quickly. Hoody is accurate! 4 kills to his name! And he makes it look easy.
Win an attack round challenge impossible here in OT. Giants making it look so simple on the retake there. Just a highlight reel for Hoody, playing just on the edge of vision. Very nicely timed on the swing there too. You gotta respect it. But now everything on Giants to actually come through.
Again, Giants on match point.
It just won't stop. Honestly, it's defense every round until someone comes up with something impressive.
Remember, they use their timeouts on overtime. Can't take the wise words of their coaches.
Oh, cNed's got an angle here. And Hoody's actually playing on the ground. A lot of times you'll see teams just all drop off a belt to avoid that angle. But Hoody's gonna walk into it if he doesn't throw the wall up. The shot misses on cNed. That is brutal. That should have been a kill on Hoody. Actually, no, it tagged him. He's down to 30 HP. Got a leg, I think, on a jump peek.
Giants really want to close this one out. They can't really let it go so long. It's tiring them out. It's the first map, man. 32 rounds in.
But the drone's already been used for Cloud. Used that very early to try and scout out an operator angle.
SUYGETSU's just chilling. He's got a clear view of the B site. He's telling his teammates, calm down, boys. Not here, not yet.
This may end up being the B finish for Giants, or actually just a B fake, perhaps. Because the spike is still A, and down to 40 seconds. Actually, almost mind gaming themselves a bit.
Yeah, they can't sell it anymore. Navi, no, they've got a clear picture.
Yeah, also with their Viper already being used A, going B is the death sentence.
cNed holding out for the operator. Exactly what you need. Could have been a collateral, but no. Just one before he drops. Vitinho into the fight. Has to push even further, though. There's not much time.
Where's the wall?
22 seconds. Wall eventually dropping, but the spike can't go down as they're spraying upon it. Slow orbs still running out of time.
That was a defensive wall to block them off from the spike. The time is ticking down. Rhyme didn't pull the trigger, and now it's all falling apart.
Zyppan with the first shot of that second fight. Zyppan still alive. How is he still alive? 5 seconds. Nukkye delivering, and now Zyppan alone. Can he make it a quadra? 3 to his name, but Nukkye finds it. And Giants will be closing out Icebox 1-0 in the mats.
Mr. Reliable. How many times did we say that game? Nukkye wins the clutch. Nukkye wins the 1v2. Nukkye wins the 1v3 over and over again. This was a close game. 2 teams very evenly matched. But the one player to push it over the edge, to tip the scales in Giants' favor, Nukkye.
Yeah, give Nukkye a cookie. Give Nukkye a cookie this break. Wow.
Give him a raise, too. I don't know which one you'd prefer more.
Look, he saved his team out of so many situations this game, right?
Yeah.
So many rounds went their way when they really shouldn't. And NAVI are probably hitting their heads right now because that was their own map pick.
Yeah, and they're going to have to come up with something. That was a grueling map 1 affair, but there is a second right around the corner. We're going to toss to a break and see you on the other side.
Woo! Nice! Давай, давай, пацан! Nice! Insane! Nice!
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings.
F-Flex on the beat. F-Flex on the beat. F-Flex on the beat.
It is another overtime that involved NAVI, and once again, it didn't go too well for them. Giants, however, have grabbed their first map win here at VCT EMEA. I'm your host, Youngsu, and I'm joined once again by Kakuka and Tom. I was going to ask if you're all right, Tom, but I feel like I need to ask Kakuka first if she's doing all right.
I mean, I'm screaming a lot just because, you know, we've had so many crazy rounds. We're going to go over the stats in a bit, but we've had so many multi-kills, so many clutches, especially in the overtime. Things were decided in the matter of seconds, and I'm, in general, very happy with the performance of both of them, but I'm really, really happy with the change that we've seen from Giants Day 1 to Giants Day 3.
Yeah, I do wonder if starting on the defense actually helped them out a little bit, because it definitely seemed like their defensive structure, especially with like Rhyme sort of picking up a role that we'd seen him not so much playing on, he did very, very well of just like actually putting down these like late stage walls and using his utility well. I think also they did well of catching the lurks of Angel, who did get caught quite a few times. And I think like Hoody actually did fantastically well of sort of like reading into those positions he was trying to get into and catching him out. That's all based on their structure, and that was the main criticism we had of them before.
Yeah, I think that if I have to sum up in one word the performance that we've seen from Giants is discipline. We can see that Ryan probably did not have the best numbers, but we could see it in the camera, and definitely we could see it in the minimap, that the movement from Giants, it was very, very different than against Fnatic. They were much sharper. They learned how to wait for their other teammates in order to take action, and you know, it worked.
Do you remember round 6?
For sure.
Do we remember any of this before overtime? I mean, I'm a little bit worried here for Navi at least. As a team that has so much LAN experience, Angel, you know, cNed, Pavlos is talking about how he won a world a champion trophy. These overtimes, you would think that they would favor Navi a bit more.
Let me tell you, I did not see fear in Fipinho going up against cNed a single time. He was 100% trusting in the plan, trusting his teammates, something that again we did not see on that day one. And Navi, in some occasions, they needed SUYGETSU to get the lurk, to get the play, and
that was ridiculous.
Much more reactive. That's what we saw Giants so many times running down the clock, being like, come on, at some point, they got to do something. We got to make them waste a little bit of utility.
I think the difference as well is, even though like we still give huge respect to Navi, Fnatic did a lot better at punishing any of the overplays that were there. Because that's the thing, there were clutches. There were clutches for both sides. Like SUYGETSU pulled out, I think it was a 4K at one point, 1v3. Like there was impressive plays from either team. The thing is though, it didn't look like it was as dominant. Whereas versus Fnatic were going, oh, you've made a mistake. Well, now we're going to own you for it every single time. So I think maybe there's some more of a punish on the other side last time, which definitely helped. But in this essence, I think there was also the fact that everybody looked more comfortable, more confident.
Also, I think that now with the results, we need to think of the two variants of what happened here. Either Navi had a new composition that they decided to back off since the new compositions didn't work on day one, and they had practiced this one a little bit less, or the protocols had already been changed, or, you know, for how long did Giants actually plan for this? Because we heard Milan in the interview that you did saying like, oh, nukkye just said like, I'll go on the Killjoy, it's fine. So you know how much time has gone into both of the decisions that we saw on the server today.
I mean, whatever Giants are doing, it's working. I hope they keep doing that. I joked about if you guys remember round 6, but let's take a look at round 12.
Yes.
Which one, Kakuka? I know you definitely remember.
Yeah. I remember it because I was talking about the discipline, and to me, this was a clear example of how things had to be done. Hoody had been forced out and trying to move around. This is when you see all the players from Giants trying to take a step back and wait for that plan, play around Hoody and his ultimate. He was forced out, as I said, with the 0 point. He came back. They knew exactly how the timing was working, and they decided to take things one step at a time, taking every single angle in pairs, just making sure that the trades were going to come out their way.
Yeah, I think as well what I liked about this round is you could see them sort of holding on to a lot of their utility. Like, there was a much more push and pull with their defensive side. Like, either they had a set plan where they were going to get aggressive in the round, or they had rounds like this where we go, okay, we think they're going to try and do this. Let's hold the Sage Wall. Let's hold the Viper's Pit. Let's not just panic throw it down and use everything when we get it. It was much more, okay, I'm going to use this with 30 seconds left. I'm going to use this in the late round, because they know that Navi like to play nice and slow, so they adapted. And that was the main thing that was important, just basically making sure that they didn't just waste their util because they had it.
Much more, you know, synchronized, and I think that's something they probably learned from Fnatic from the previous game that they had, because the moment that Fnatic did not land a trade, Mini asked for a pause. And this is literally the Giants that have seen that situation and has seen it on the other side, being like, it's impossible to win against that.
I mean, even after all that, it still came down to clutches. I felt like every single time. And I feel like this is the only time we've seen Shao lose more than one clutch. That's actually crazy. The fact that
and he
Shao,
still won 3.
The fact that he was being challenged to that degree, I think really shows the way the Giants were playing. But also, I feel like the two Jet players, we've got to really talk about those, Fipinho and cNed. Tom, I think both of these players are definitely benefiting from the Jet meta once again. And what a battle it was between those two.
Fipinho's stats were night and day. Like, he was, I think, 11 and 16 last time they played. This time he ended up with, what, like 27 kills or something absurd. 9 2Ks. So just like multi-fragging across the board, and I think that these are going to be two players that are very interesting to highlight going forward, because although in this match you got the Jet v Jet, both very happy to be playing into that, in the next map the chances are they're going to have very different roles. We've already seen cNed play the like of an Omen or something like that in previous games because he's trying to fill the spots. So now I kind of want to see what's going to happen going into Split. Is he filling a spot or is he playing a cNed?
Yeah, and it's going to be a crazy situation. We'll see when Agent Select comes into play. So we can see that Vitinho, for example, has a lot more higher first death because he was constantly taking those risks. And on the side of cNed, you know, sometimes it's Angel. That's not how it works.
A lot of the
Sometimes
time.
it's Angel.
I don't know if that's definitively a bad thing. I feel like in that context.
You know that he likes calling from the other side, so.
Oh, when he's dead? Oh, okay, I get you. But Fitty, he's actually warming up right now in the AIM labs. Not that he needs to. I don't know why he, out of all
Keep
players,
it hot.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. He's the last. I need to AIM labs a little bit more. He definitely does not. And you can see why he's being so hot on the server as well. Again, I feel like we should talk a little bit more about him because in all the conversations of all these Jet players coming in, you know, you had cNed, you had Durka, all these great players. I feel like his name kind of got left behind a little bit.
I'm going to tell you something. I know that when the rest of the lineup was for him, probably Vitinho felt a little bit like he was the underdog. You know, he was the one staying from Giants and maybe being a staple of the organization that he was staying there. And he's grinding so much. You can see him not only on scrims, you can see it on stream until very late in the morning. He's really taking this seriously, and I think it's showing off not only on the Jet, but now that we're talking about Split, when you see his KO, you definitely can see the improvement and that he's put in a lot of time.
I think the main thing, and it's something that might be a bit almost a taboo to say, but when you look at the Spanish organizations, a lot of people went, okay, they're going to keep a Spanish player. So you started off with sort of Mixwell being one of them. Codamenta obviously is the sort of well-known IGL. I don't think anyone had a problem with that so much. But then you look at Vitinho and go, is he a player who's going to be as good as everyone else, or is he being brought in because he's Spanish? He is as good as everyone else. He's proven that over the last couple of months.
And he is Spanish.
He is also Spanish too, but
he's going to really be able to prove that if he can beat NAVI 2-0 here.
Sure.
But they have to win Split if they want to do that. I think Icebox was the one where we're like, can they do it? But now they've done it on Icebox. Surely, Tom, this is the time to bring it home.
This is the thing. It's like, I will never count out a team like NAVI because they're always going to be working on pretty much every single map within the pool. Like, maybe they'll have one that they don't play, but something like Split is actually a map that I would say for Angel and his calling style is one of the best. It's slow, it's structured, a lot of build-up play on the attack, and normally the teams that are best at it are the ones that can pull off rounds on the attack. The defense is something I feel like everybody can play to a degree, whereas that attacking side, in the past, they were one of the best.
Yeah, definitely. But you mentioned it. It's in the past. The last time that we see actually Navi or FPX at that time playing this map, what was it? July? Because obviously Split has been...
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a long, long time. So let's see also, we were talking about cNed. What is he going to be doing? Because if he were to fill in the shoes of artists, he would be going on the KO. And if he were to go on the KO, we would have another surprise. We were talking
I don't want to see that. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to see that.
That's another thing I'll bring up. I don't like mentioning this team's name for many reasons, but their game versus Forza in the past, when they played Split, it was the most overcooked game of Split I've ever seen in my life. It was a game where you looked at that FPX, who became NAVI, and they just overdid it with all of the different ideas. They played Zero Duelist, which they like to do on Split, and I'm just hoping that, in many cases, I don't think they need to do that. They've got fantastic Duelist players. They've got someone like Zyppan, Shao, who can play whatever, and you've got cNed. So I kind of hope that they almost go to something a little bit more simplistic because they've got the callers, they've got the coaches, they've got the players. They don't need to do something massively crazy to win this game.
So nothing wacky. You just want to see them
It's going to be wacky. I just don't want them to do it.
Okay, so meta, in meta. You want to see some meta picks.
It's not only that. They have the players to do that. You put cNed on the Jet. You put Zyppan on the Raze. You get SUYGETSU. You can either give him a Killjoy. You can give him a Viper if you want, playing with double controller. Angel, you know, he can go on the Omen. We will see him again with that Cypher. I mean, you have the facilities to play actually whatever you want.
I want to talk about Angel real quick because obviously, you know, I feel like we get two versions of Angel. We get the Angel that can TP into your spawn and just get an ace, do his thing, and one that's kind of a little bit... I don't want to say running it down, but certainly running somewhere.
You want to, the word you want is inty.
Yeah.
That's the word you're trying to say without saying it. Sometimes it looks like Angel is trying to make the plays all the time when he has a team that can do it for him. A lot of the time it'd be a sacrificial lamb. Sometimes that's brilliant. Sometimes in the last last map, for example, he got caught. I think on Split, he normally gets it right. I think
Yeah.
he's very good at taking mid control and using that position around the map to sort of gain control for the rest of the team. The thing is, though, that was something that was aggressively fought for by Giants.
Yeah.
They constantly tried to maneuver Hoodie around, and I will say he got wrecked by Durka a lot, but I don't know if there's anybody who's going to be as aggressive or as in his face as Durka was in that previous map.
You know, Angel sometimes works like a beacon of gathering information, and I want to say if it's going to be the same on Split, because the information is going to be definitely very different. It depends on the agent that he's playing.
Well, let's take a look at agent select here. Like you guys both said, it's been a while since NAVI has played Split. We've seen Giant Split already. They gave Fnatic a real fight, and Zyppan's locked in the sky.
Okay, well, that's definitely an initiator. cNed is going to be going.
Ah!
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's Angel!
Wait, is this going to be great or is this going to be cursed, Tom? Tell me.
I don't know. I feel like for someone like Angel, it might not necessarily be a bad thing. I think it still gives them the rest of the players to sort of have that setup around. I think cNed still being on a jet, I'm happy to see that. That gives them that extra little bit of initiation, which I think they need when they have a composition like this.
Yeah, exactly. And going for that double controller, Shao is going to be the one going on the Astra. Now, I'm wondering, you know, maybe if Angel wants to have that lurking power, maybe swapping them two around, knowing that Shao was, you know, the first and only Gecko that we had so far. Well, or as Simple would say, Goku. But, you know, put an Angel on that role. I want to see how that is going to work. Definitely, it's a first time for him, but this is very, very exciting to watch. I cannot believe, you know, that NAVI, even being put in the situation where they can end up 0-2 again, they decide to go with what they prepared.
Well, Tom, you didn't. You said we weren't going to see Gecko today, so you're wrong. Angel.
I said I wouldn't see double Gecko. I said double Gecko.
You wrong, and I can't wait to get into game to see some Angel Gecko tech. Over to you, Ender and Pavlos.
This is pretty tasty.
You guys don't know.
Yeah.
There's a boba truck in the venue that I'm sure everyone has already went over and gotten something at. But yeah, we got some Gecko drinks brought up for us because, of course, we have a Gecko in the game. Of course, Angel's going to bust that one out. Was bored of watching Shao play it, so he decided, my turn.
You got a bit jealous out there, right? But yeah, I don't know how long these are going to be around for in this arena. So if you've got a chance, if you're debating about coming here, I think for this reason alone, you should make
As you can see, I've already spilled about like 8 drinks on myself today, so which is a problem. What you don't understand is the shirt is actually soaking wet.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Just don't touch it. Your handle, it's like kind of sticky. It's not good. It's not good. Stay away.
But getting to the real meat and potatoes of this series actually is the fact that NAVI has lost their second major overtime game. Right. This is the first one obviously against Giants, but second overall in VCT EMEA, and that can't feel good. Not being able to close maps.
Yeah, they had that really rough one back versus Koi on day 1. Of course, was not a fun position to be in. 20-18, a brutal affair. Icebox, another really long game. So, hey, if the track record is anything, we are in for another big game here. It's Split as well, which I know Split only recently came back into the competitive pool, but this is also the map of OTs. So get a drink now because you might not have a chance for a while.
Yeah, especially if these guys have got us glued to our seats like they did the previous game. Early aggression here from NAVI, looking for a fight, looking to just get up in their opponents' faces, look for a few fists here and there, but it's Patino that is just knocking them down one by one. NAVI can't be too happy about that trade as Giants have got a full advantage. 2 players above their opposition.
Yeah, just trying to pop out from behind the Viper wall right there, but gets absolutely shut down. And yeah, just quick little reminder, it was nukkye on the Killjoy on the previous map, but on those Raze maps, his Raze is something to be feared. That's for sure. Has all like the highlight clips from back in the day on the Raze, sniping people from the skies with that rocket. And for now, Giants just going to abandon the lower ground here, playing entirely up into A heaven.
Shao in the smoke, able to run out of trouble. Still getting one, evening the playing field just a little bit. Flash into the site. Shao still alive somehow, but does take him down. Giants with a clear advantage here. Angel with all to do.
Yeah, the timing there, having Rhyme come down in through main. At the same time, nukkye's going flying out of heaven. Really makes it impossible for that player stuck in hell. Shao, nothing he could do down in that position. So from the early picks, countering out the early aggression in mid, into the site hit from Giants, a very well executed round 1.
I think it was just more than anticipation there. I mean, obviously Giants couldn't really expect that there was a push coming in from mid, but having one player with the right crosshair placement, maybe not the best timing there from Na'Vi, allowing one player to peek without the assistance of others or any utility. That could have been a slight misplay, but either way, Giants collect it, take advantage of it, and are able to carry through with it. Now, a bit of a spread out approach, somewhat like a default. Na'Vi, you could say the same thing about their defense. Maybe they try and get some orbs in here, trying to find as much of an outcome, as much as a greater outcome as they can.
Yeah, and sort of looking at both these team compositions as well, it's a little bit odd. We have no sentinels on either side. Double smokes, of course, has been popular on Split even before the new meta coming in here. Always have seen a lot of Viper in play for those A main walls, either for the attackers to take heaven control, or for the defenders try and block that off. You can see some mid control with that wall too permanently for the squad, but also the lack of breach and the line control, because neither team is even rocking an Omen. It's actually kind of awkward, I think, when it comes to actually setting up aggressive plays, enabling your rays. Yeah, you have the sky flashes you can work with, but I think this is going to be a fairly low support game in terms of what nukkye is going to have.
It's going to be a Traderoo already on the site. Oh, SUYGETSU had a chance to take Cloud there, but a 180-degree turn from Cloud is able to deal with him quickly. So Giants will be finding themselves onto the site. Na'Vi on the outside, really looking in. And with the Gecko, we have yet to see, obviously, the capabilities of it so far. Be interested to see if it does have a substantial impact really in this game. I think a lot of people have been looking at Na'Vi picking up Gecko. I think in every single map they played so far, except from the previous one, they've had Gecko in the composition.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Gecko... I mean, the thing that Gecko gives you that no one else can give, of course, is Wingman, especially for the diffuses. And I think that on a map like Split, you know, one of the quirks of this map, of course, you have the high elevation in heavens of both sides. But both sides also have big pillars, right? And you can get into this dance of when it's late in a round, 1 versus 1, 2v2, low numbers, where the attacking team is going to try to sort of wrap around on either side. And a lot of the times, if you're diffusing, you have to gamble which angle you hold. If you have Wingman there, it makes it so much easier to pop that one down, push one side on your own as that spike is ticking away for you. So I think the Wingman diffuse is actually a really big benefit on this map. The rest of the kit, I'm not quite convinced. I still think the lack of breach here is a little bit alarming for me personally.
Yeah, breach is just really strong, right? You really can't make your way without those flashes, but still, Giants have a good hold onto this. cNed, nicely done. Holding his line. nukkye no more, but the rest move in nonetheless. cNed holding still, changing the position and delivering the blows to their head still. He's got reinforcements now, so he gets him in the fight. He's needed as he's got higher elevation, and Hoody is the only player remaining from Giants. Strong round for NAVI as they get themselves a first on the board. Try closing things up before it gets out of hand.
Yep, just shut down that hit entirely. Good fight from them, and also the awareness, knowing these rounds are always going to come down to one player late lurking in through mid. I think that can be the baseline expectations for both of these teams and how they want to play without the Sentinel utility in mid, and the way that double smokes comps want to play. Usually you have one of your smokers in that lurk role, always trying to see what they can get done for themselves.
Doombro's happy with that one. Certified thumbs up.
The seal of approval, gotta love it. Oh man.
Ooh, cNed on fire.
That was an attacking flash as well that popped slightly late or didn't actually attack him. I was blinking and then all of a sudden cNed had a kill. Little bro.
He's no more. And a bit out of depth to try and pick him up again as well. At this point, NAVI, with the pick they have, not willing to take too many fights. We've seen many of teams not wanting to fight out in mid when they've got an advantage.
Yeah, don't worry. He's in a better place now.
R.I.P.
That is rough. 3 players up into heaven, though.
Does make the move out. nukkye is in the corner, gets out of it, tries for a pick. Angel drops back, though. nukkye blinded still, holding on. Giants want heaven control.
cNed down in hell in the reposition from Angel. They could cut up Giants as they're trying to come out from heaven here.
Only one flash remaining on Fatinho, though. Has to use it wisely. cNed posting up. Oh, spots out nukkye's cross. Flash into his face. Drop back. Oh, he's so low. Angel delivers. And finally, cNed drops. Angel still alive, delivering. And NAVI on the front foot. Ahead in numbers. 32 seconds. Fatinho wants to cross forwards. It's a successful fight. And now with a spike plant, they can put NAVI on the pressure point.
I think SUYGETSU slipped the molly out of the hand, hearing a player drop, was expecting the push, but couldn't get the gun out in time to stabilize his aim and take that fight. Now a 2 versus 2.
Shao dropping silently.
One enemy
Bit of a swish
remaining.
push here by Cloud, but Zyppan. Good shot to Patino. Cloud quashes Zyppan. And now it's a one-on-one. Secrets thrown. Shao quicker to the trigger. Navi to square things up 2-2.
That one was looking dicey for a second right there. But Shao will take care of the Seeker, also win the duel. Giants were able to open up B Heaven almost entirely, you know, sort of getting past the mosh pit with their raise. And it was really Vitinho that even gave them a chance because they still went down in numbers. And when you're down in numbers, Tails hold his time, you have to go a little bit extra, right? You have to make that gamble play to catch one player off guard. In most situations, I think that's exactly what he did. And it was good. Just unfortunately, in the 1v1 at the very end, was not going to go their way.
Giants, again, not letting anything get out of hand too quickly. Quickly on the timeout. Quickly to try and catch their breath. Not that they're running out of it. They're chilling. Vibes. Listening to their coach, probably. My guess.
I would hope so.
I'd hope so.
Imagine just
maybe
one player goes rogue.
Sometimes coaches just say, take 20 seconds,
That's also
guys.
true.
Don't speak. Just chill.
Yeah. Also, like, there's a lot of times like players will have like much more of a discourse. It's not just like a coach coming in.
Yeah.
The voice of God raining down for 60 seconds. No, it's a bit more back and forth in a lot of situations, especially between the IGL.
It's a good time to communicate, right?
Yeah. Because a lot of the time too, like the coach may not be working with like perfect information if you know, he didn't hear some of the footsteps that a lurk player heard. That now you can communicate back to him, come up with an idea. And a lot of the times too on attack, it's like asking your duelist like, where do you want to go? Like, how can we set you up to take that opening fight? Because a lot of teams, especially on Split, not always about just like full executing into a site. Maybe sometimes when you're playing those like crazy double duelist comps and you're just trying to dive bomb in on them. That can be the idea. But here, oh, Cloud, you don't want a piece of that. Get on out of there.
Thinking of it's probably a setup for the next round as well, given the likelihood, or the unlikelihood rather, of Giants picking up around here. Cloud with a hero Vandal. Placed further back. Little bro.
I'm numb to it now. It's happened so much.
It's happened so many times.
It means nothing to me.
Ooh, created by Cloud, the only Vandal on Giants' side has been able to find a kill.
I actually think with the way that wall works, he could see over for just a second with the ebb and flow.
And Giants are quick to react to it, though. They get the pick, they move forwards. You can see how far nukkye is pushed up in vents. Cloud as well hasn't taken damage, so he's clever to take a fight here, but Angel is able to rip his head apart and keep things square.
There is a rifle there. Tino can grab that one, use a flash just to make sure he can secure it. The rest of the team is rotated over back towards A. Now, I'm a little surprised to see Giants not actually working through mid to split into heaven, but that's the play that Navi are going to expect. You notice the positioning of Shao. He wants to sit inside any potential smoke that would go down, actually falls down into hell himself.
30 seconds left.
2 Vandals in play here for Giants. Ryan drops his life. No more smoke is available here for Giants. They'll try and get a spike plant, but there's a lot of presence here from Navi. Shao on the smoke. Try to walk past it slowly. No chance for you. Shao, really good to close the gap there. And now Angel on the flank, delivering 3 kills to his name, and that's Navi on 3 rounds as well, finding themselves the advantage.
That's crazy. I think nukkye actually ended up getting slammed by the Seekers.
That's true.
Appeared to be concussed right there. And Navi win the round as expected. Now Giants headed into this next one. Vitinho has ultimate. Hoody 1 point off too, so if they give Spike over to him, having that Viper Pit in the post plant could be very impactful. nukkye's still a couple off. He's only been able to find 1 kill in the first 5 rounds. And again, this brings me back to my slight concern that there's no line control for either of these 2 teams. Giants in particular, trying to capitalize off of double flashes, not having the concuss mainly is my concern. They do have those flashes, but I think we've seen teams and players be so much more effective at just turning them, dodging away, especially the Sky Flash you could hear coming for a long time.
Likelihood that we'll be pushing together with a Trailblazer here. Cloudburst denying any sort of aggressive maneuver. Something to note here. Giants, yes, they picked this up, but they're playing against Navi, which they haven't really seen in this composition before. So, yeah, okay, they've got something prepped up for us, but still have to figure out how Navi like to play it.
It's been a little difficult for me to notice the impact Angel's had. He has been going for the vertical flashes, so can go into those dizzies pretty frequently. Scouting Hawk sent out from Zyppan into A main that doesn't spot anything. And the fact that Rhyme was over there, hearing that, there are ways you can play with that false information that Navi think they have.
Early no command coming through at the 40-second mark, forcing the players
Oh,
off
the
Heaven,
legs!
dropping down. That's going to hurt. It's going to make him limp a bit, but Angel drops through the smoke. That's a great kill by Cloud. They're moving even further. cNed taking down Fatinho, but that's okay because he can be brought back to life. cNed out of the smoke, weaving in and out of battle, delivering finishing blows. Nukkye, and he's able to find two suddenly, and Giants are right back in the fight. Nay, Shao! 180-degree turn. What a wonderful display.
You've heard of a cNed round. Let me introduce you to the Shao round right there. Wow. What is that? Giants know his position. He's just turning around on a dime, kill after kill after kill. You think he gets maybe one there. Oh, two if he's lucky. No. No shot.
Spike down.
Instantly tagging on.
How easy did he make that look? Right, and it wasn't only just Shao, it was cNed as well, going in and out of the fight, finding himself isolated fights, picking them off, and winning on each given instant.
Ooh, I like that wall spam at the start of the round. You can do a similar spam from the attacking side. The attackers are trying to use some utility, but actually if you get one bullet tagged to the wall, you get that slow from the bullet pen. That could turn into a kill with something like the snakebite mosh pit. Hawk from Zyppan also notes that at least one player is outside of A main, so Navi, cNed not going to be able to rotate. Although if he just posts up with the operator, Zyppan could actually be the one to rotate or pick up A heaven.
Trailblazer spotting out, at least that SUYGETSU is nearby. That's why Fatinho is there ready on the trigger. At the right position of the crosshair. Keep in mind, Spike is dropped back. They're not going to go directly in for the side without it. Or maybe they will and forget about it.
Yeah, just run that one straight back. The problem is no setup again. Nukkye, nothing to set him into that area. Shuts it down. Zyppan's there with the bird too. It slows everything. Navi have stopped Giants in their track.
Oh, Shao holding it back. Hoody having to fall back with the Spike has relieved the pressure off of Garage, meaning they can hold down to the side for now. But now it's Giants with control. 30 seconds, have to play this smartly. Viper Spit dropping, cNed with blades. Oh, he's dangerous with those. So dangerous with them. Flying above, as if he's an airplane. Does right click, means he has to use the operator snake bite in hand. Oh no, he's just going lower and lower in health. Fatinho walks into him, unable to put that barrel in his stomach. Zyppan, he may have noticed it's Fatinho's cross, but unsure if Hoody takes a shot in the dark. Oh, this is difficult. Can't switch things up. Has to play it quickly. Can he spot out Hoody? No one peeks, guiding light, trying to isolate, knows where one is. Has to replenish his health before he walks back into the Viper's pit. Oh my God! This man! He's got the awareness of the God, of the deity! That is not possible! Not for a normal human being!
That required divine intervention. My word. From the opening kill in heaven to this, the first one is reasonable. The second is unholy. You can't teach that.
Let that sit for a bit. Let that sit for a bit. What did we just see? Zyppan spraying through, Viper Spit, having no idea where SUYGETSU is, walking as well. 1v2 clutch, just like that, 5-2. Navi feeling comfortable now. Looking to take a fight early in Garage, spotting out some movement, dropping back a bit. No reason to be overzealous here.
Wow, Fatinho actually has 4,600 in the bank. Just went for light armor and a sheriff. A little surprising. It's not even like you're going to be saving to operate on attack. Definitely not. Just trying to contact up now. Oh no.
Oh, they haven't checked Shao. You cannot not check Shao.
Did no one here ask to go, like, ooh, a little tickle by the pain shell? Like, come on.
That's not much of a tickle though, right? That's just lead making holes in their bodies. Uncomfortable, to say the least.
Have we determined if lead is what the rifles in Valorant actually use?
I don't know, man. Is it some sort of other material? I'm pretty sure.
It also depends on skin, because this is like uranium or something. It's a uranium bullet right there.
Well, I'm not going to make a new word for every single skin here, mate. All right, 6-2. Navi, as expected, win off the round, only dropped a play. I think they can be very happy about that result. But overall, I think it's the fact that they found confidence. Taking trades, winning them, that's what they needed.
Wow. I think just seeing Navi bounce back here really strong after losing that long O2, and they were on match point. up until it went to OT. Good sign for them.
And I think for Giants, looking at how they're using their economy right now, they're sort of focusing on longevity here, right? Investing into half shields, making sure they can buy up next round, even if they do lose, ending up this one.
All right, so SUYGETSU's going to use the Viper's pit down mid. But what does that mean for Giants who still have 2 players around it? Wait, Rhyme just got a spam kill?
Apparently, allegedly.
Did
Shao?
he hear him running? Was he guessing?
I've got your trail.
Well, the kill was bussin'.
I mean, that's like return for Shao getting the 2 earlier, or Zyppan getting the 2 earlier, I suppose. My word. Actually, though, this was going to be a perfect fake. With the spot that Rhyme had up in mid, just going to call the other team to rotate up in through B heaven. They're going to send 2 over through main. Now, no one's on site, unbeknownst to them. But Giants have really liked this split into the B site.
Navi, how do you work with this? It's a difficult one to unravel.
Go get him, buddy.
Wrong way, bro.
Planted.
That's tough.
Hey, look, it doesn't even uncover the position of Hoody, right? Will eventually come in for the flank. They're wary of it, but can't deal with it quickly.
Yeah, they're all out of flashes, though, so actually getting out of the smoke CT, brutal.
And then
cNed has an op.
cNed misses the opportunity.
Grab the op and run,
yeah.
I think.
Well, that's what Angel's going to try and do, and he may be able to do it. Yeah, falling back to spawn, that's a wiser choice. The Zyppan is there to help him out. Zyppan, are you sticking around? They've got some money. Might want to do some damage to their opposing economy. That could be more important than his own gun and well-being. Or is he going for a ninja defuse? No way.
Surely not.
No, there's one nearby. It's all right. Okay. For a second there, I started to create a drop of sweat.
I mean, I actually think if he got that kill,
it could have been possible.
The timing that Rhyme would have swung him would have been super close. Like, we're talking milliseconds there, whether or not that actually would have worked out. Okay, yeah, so we're seeing from both sides. Yeah, no one is doing or seeing anything.
And it's just Rhyme pressing mouse 1.
All right.
That's
so
how it's done, everybody.
He's cheating. Cool. Now we know. That's crazy. Unreal. All right, guys, call timeout. How did he know I was in my ult again? How did I know I was there?
Guys, I'll take a timeout. I need to go into the report. Press escape real quick. Okay, right.
Can you even report on Tournament Client? Because that would be really funny if you could.
Pretty sure you can on every client.
I wonder if there's just a log. Because there's no way any writer is checking the reports on Tournament Realm. But if someone were to go back and like read reports from like 3 years ago,
like on Scrim.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, this guy, I think his name is 11s. He just like shot me. He's playing on like 40 ping and is just like murdering. Like, what's actually happening? Like, I bet there's some funny stories back there that we could comb through. It'd be like a little time capsule.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have that job myself, going through all those reports.
Good thing.
Yeah.
It's not anyone's job to find those reports on Tournament. I don't think.
I mean,
could be wrong.
Even the ones on ranked can't be.
Yeah. Keep me away. Keep me away
about
from
that one. All right, Giants. They've got still buying them. Obviously, they kept most of the players alive. That's what they needed. Still looking into the future, making sure they are robust economically. But now they need to put up a few rounds together, trying to chain them through.
So one of the things I'm looking at for Giants, with Vitinho's ult coming back, when Giants have had the big site hit ults, right, the KO and the raise, it's been split hits up into B heaven working off of those. And with Vitinho's positioning, I think it could end up being a look similar to that. Other options are, with this Viper wall, it's very easy to try and pinch down into any sort of A heaven / vents player.
We've seen a few Dizzy so far. I wasn't too happy about them because they're not in position that they can be quickly collected, right? At least I'm not sure. Yeah.
He's thrown some verticals, I know I've seen, but I think all in all, it's sort of hard to judge the efficacy of the champion, of the agent so far.
Of course.
I did not just say champion, guys. Didn't happen.
I actually didn't notice, so you pointed that out.
Nope,
you know,
it didn't happen.
Put yourself in jail.
Oh,
But yeah, not having a Dizzy available now does really prohibit their chances in the post plants. Yes, they have
Here's
Sky.
my theory. They hit A Heaven and then go into mid trying to pull rotations, which actually cNed is reading up into Heaven, and it is the B split like I was telling you.
Poison Cloud, though, won't be able to let him know of a push quickly, of course, with a Nebula dropping as well. Has to fall further back. Onto the side they go. Angel is alone. They know of this now with attacks on the dagger. He's going to be able to pick through, but just in damage found, no kills. So we get to the first kill for NAVI. Giants got control all across the board with the Cosmic Divide to split the Cosmos in two as well as the site.
Gorgeous play. Now nukkye in front of that Astral Wall.
Oh! Try to predict it, but no. An upper ground level for nukkye! 2 kills to his name, and Giants solidifying it. Very nicely played, always in control. Shao making a chance out of this one, dropping back 28 points of health. Not good enough. And he's got a save. Honestly, he's got a save.
Nothing you can do there.
Great round from Giants.
I love that. That was elaborate, and you could sort of see right before it went into gear exactly what they wanted to do. Their own Viper Wall, it's like a red carpet that lets them go all the way up into Heaven and then cut back through vents. If any player's in mid, they're going to get crushed. NAVI have been playing pretty passively around mid too. So because the defenders, after they've lost A Heaven, after they lose vents, they only have one way to actually rotate through their spawn. It's so hard for them to retake B, right? Because a lot of times you'll see one defender player try to late push back through mid, but NAVI in their head know Giants cut through there, so they can't safely go back into that area with one player. It's a huge, huge gamble.
So I saw a stat earlier in the day, and I want the stats team, if possible, to affirm this. But yeah, take this with a pinch of salt. I believe every composition on Split we've seen in lock-in included a raise for a reason. Now, the way that NAVI are playing does not include it. It's definitely different, definitely something we haven't seen too much of, and we can see clear frustration from NAVI from this.
Yeah, cNed on the jet did not look happy. And I mean, it's a cNed classic, just keep going back towards the jet. Now with an operator in hand, we'll try to hold the forward angles, but it does seem fairly difficult for NAVI to make aggressive plays early. Like, they can hold with the jet, but the lack of a raise and a paranoia or a fault line makes it very hard to burst forward from the defensive side of things, right? You don't have the fault line to control male, early or mid, B main, A main. All of a sudden, the attackers get to hold that angle much earlier on and just need to use one flash to force the operator back.
I'm not sure if that Trailblazer was able to catch out nukkye's attention there.
And what this means is that now all of a sudden NAVI play virtually every round without mid control. This is the first time I think I've actually seen someone in vents from them. 3 up towards A Heaven. They have to be able to fight through this Viper Wall. Otherwise, the same thing that happened last round could be repeated.
First blow onto nukkye. cNed happy this time around Ryan. So GIA wouldn't have thought that would have been possible, but yes, they left it open, walked through, and now they're equal in numbers.
The aggressive tool's hard to fight for mid. No Sentinel util to guard your back either. Perfect punish from Giants, and now they can work into B.
Yeah, utilizing mid to cross onto the B, exactly like last time, but this time there's 2 defenders for NAVI. Angel up close, not winning his fight. Shao, can they read? He's nearby. Angel dropping, Giants are on the fight, then looking to push forwards, but still, Shao should have to deal with next.
Hoody as well was in A Heaven, has called the rotation in from cNed, knows there's going to be a jet moving into Heaven very shortly, and he can stab them straight in the back.
Rhyme reading it and seeing it. Yes, he got the first pick, the only kill for NAVI this round. And he's like, guys, I did my job. Can you make this a little bit easier for me? It's frustrating, we know, we saw it from him. Doesn't feel happy. Saving the op probably is the best choice for him, but he doesn't have a dash to get out of it. Oh, that is rough. Walking out, knife out into mid and retrieving a bullet to the middle of his head.
Giants have exposed the weakness now in NAVI. It took them a little while, but now 3 rounds in a row have been exploiting mid to the fullest. Fantastic from them. And for NAVI, it feels like they're sort of playing a little bit on their own, right? Like, cNed finds the pick, and he's strong enough to get the one. But unless everyone is finding theirs as the hits come through, as the rotates through mid happen, the round is quickly going to fall apart.
And this investment into the future, how many players they would have lost, they still have plenty to keep this chain of rounds going. nukkye on an operator on attack. Trying to see if maybe perhaps someone peeks it out. I wouldn't be surprised if they even have a Vandal drop for him if he elects to choose it right next to him.
Yeah, being the last round and all that. Vitinho also has 7,100 credits, so yeah. I should hope they left a little goodie bag for him outside a garage.
Giants moving forwards in mid this time. Navi contesting it, not wanting this to be such a weakness.
But what are you
Angel
fighting with?
walking into mid and retrieving a bullet between the eyes. That's not good. Navi on the back foot already. Giants.
I think he's trying to fight with Dizzy, but it gets instantly broken. There's too many players there.
Hoody was isolated though. cNed, good pick from him, but can he convert the success over to the B site?
cNed is going to try to go through mid. This is what I was talking about. You need a way to pinch onto the male player on the attack. The attackers always leave someone here. And if he's successul, it gives them all the options in the world.
Trades are even. cNed on the mid could get a pick onto Ryan, and that's exactly what happens now. All three players could be playing together, but Vitinho able to isolate them somehow and gets away. No more flashes for him though. Dropping, Vitinho to the side, switches a position, drops back, wants a pick, not getting it. Shao on the case. Nukkye falling, and Navi looking to close the last round of the half.
Wow. Got close there for a moment, but cNed and Shao, definitely the heroes of Navi. cNed finally able to backstab in mid, punish the male player on Giants. A little bit late, but better late than never for them. And because of all the good work they did early on in the half, they will have 7 heading into the attack. But I think my read overall is that even though Split, usually a very defensive-sided map, because of the lack of these comps' ability to play a little bit more aggressively on the defensive side when they want to, maybe not as defensively sided as normal.
I think looking at the players, there's a visible frustration on Navi, right? This is not what this team has been formed to make. This is not the team that was made to struggle against teams like Giants. Yes, it's a good squad. Yes, they are capable. But Navi was made to contend against Fnatic, to even beat with them and be the best in the region.
Yeah.
They're having a rough time right now. And I can tell that these players are frustrated. We saw some cam reactions. Case in point, cNed not feeling it right now.
And the fact is, Icebox was close, right? Could have won it on any number of different times. It was nukkye that was always clutching it out, stealing that win away from them. And then moving back over here, they are ahead with the lead, but I think you saw the frustration on cNed in a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, mouse into table, hard. As they started going Giants' way time to time.
It's a difficult composition because you don't really have
Sorry, that
fallbacks.
play just shocked me again seeing it.
Yeah, I was focused on looking at the players for a second, but yeah, you're right.
But they have a little bit of time, reset themselves before they head into the second half.
And look, it's 7-5. They're still ahead, right, at halftime. It's not bad. Obviously, this is not their map pick. Giants could have more in store for us.
I mean, the fact is they're in the lead, but they are under the most pressure right now.
Yes.
After dropping that first map. Very important here to be able to force things back onto Pearl. Another one of those maps for them, and now is really where we see the test, right? Because now it's cNed on the Jet on attack, not having access to the Raze, but we also get to see the potential options with Wingman here as well. How do they send him out? How do they protect him? We saw the blunder with Wingman that actually cost them that Lotus map.
Yeah.
Little bro got sent into sight, died with Spike in hand, was completely incapable of recovering it. But having an extra man to sort of fight on site as Giants try to quick retake versus you, something they'll definitely try to do with this Raze and all the damaging utility they can throw at your way.
Yeah, hopefully they don't believe Wingman is Rambo and can kill everyone in his way. Yeah, that's not the case. He's a very fragile boy. And he's protecting that, man.
Navi playing very spread out at the start here, 2-1-2.
Ooh, nukkye taking a fight early, waiting for the flash drive, and it's a pick. Good start, drop back. They've done the job.
What is the spacing there with Zyppan, though? I believe he tried to use a flash there as well, but I mean, it was a 2-1-2, but he was not in trading distance. I don't know if they were trying to abandon the Astra there for a late rotation after faking A, but that was very unfortunate.
Looking to increment on their success, to bounce on the site. They do a search. Ryan trying to delay it a bit, but the cross has already commenced. Getting one on the cross, actually staying on site and doing quite a bit. cNed and Zyppan keeping their team in check, but still, Navi on the back foot, on site, unable to get the spike down given how far Giants have been able to circulate around them.
The spike stuck back here in hell, and 2 players now to trap Zyppan in there.
Guiding Light reveals at least there's a presence of one player there. Trailblazer only spotting one. Do they know that Hoodie's there as well? Zyppan getting into a corner where the snake bite isn't affecting him, but he's effectively out onto the open. And they're so low, Na'Vi. They need clean heads.
This round is cooked.
Giants are just playing with their feelings at this point, making them feel pressure, crushing in on them. And there you go. That is 6 for Giants. Pistol on the board.
Slight blunder, I think, starting off that round there, and then after that, Rhyme finding 2 kills with the head right there on the Ghost. Looked very strong for them. And again, I believe the call was to leave the Astra as a late lurk. With Zyppan showing the flash and then being on the A site, maybe showing a little bit more presence or feigning more presence towards B than it actually ended up being for them. Regardless, though, I think we're going to have to really see Na'Vi play these early rounds well in the future. cNed, how can they get him forward? How can they set him up to take opening fights? It's by dashing straight on in.
He's going in. This man wants blood. He smells it and runs right after it. But no, won't be getting anything out of this one. Na'Vi is leaving the fate of Garage to Angel, maybe to make his way forwards little by little, but no side steps as Na'Vi look to enter Garage. They've gained a lot of space here. Giants not quite clear on the picture, maybe across towards Vents. They've given it all mid, so anything could be possible. Hoodie peeking out finally will reveal their movement, and Na'Vi actually put Giants under a lot of trouble. 2 picks for nothing. Rhyme on site with a Bulldog trying to hold it back, sustain Na'Vi's, well, Giants' advantage. And with the equalized field, Na'Vi trying to pick up weapons and put themselves right back into the fight. Rhyme, triple kill, Cloud in the fight. And now it's Angel, the captain of the team, to make it work.
Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, man. I mean, Na'Vi gave Giants a good run for their money right there, but even after losing the 2 initial players, the remaining 3 of Giants locked it down very nice for them. What I will sort of prep us for is a lot of these sort of split plays with more players up in mid. I think early days of split, you saw a lot of teams trying to play like heavy A main, B main, use 1 or 2 lurk players through mid to find a good timing as the hit was coming in onto the site. But nowadays, and especially with how Giants just played their attacking half and how majority of teams play split nowadays, it usually will be 3 or 4 players in mid with just the one as a late entry in towards main. What that does mean for you as a defender is, in theory, you could try to, stake out more territory in B main. If you maintain that position, it's very hard for the attackers to actually get a plant on site if their main player ends up falling. But because of the lack of Omen for the one-ways, potentially, because of the lack of the blinds, the concusses, not as much of an option, and you could very well be running into a cNed operator, just a cNed rifle holding down the line in B main.
Now with a Logitech power-up round. Let's see if Na'Vi can find themselves on the board. Obviously, yeah, this is the first time they kind of have guns in the fight against Giants now in the second half. We were wondering to see how Gecko would be influential.
Ooh, check this out, though. Late retake of B main. You don't really have utility to fight for it, and it is traded out evenly. This is what I was talking about, right? If you don't have the early utility, you can try to find the timing attack, and Giants! What is that?
I was about to say, both Astras are down, but now on the side of Na'Vi, they've lost cNed as well.
But I mean, between the decay of the orb and the vulnerable, like, that's just a one-tap anywhere, I think, with the Sheriff.
Angel doesn't clear it. Classic
this
mistake.
is sloppy.
It is definitely not what we know Na'Vi capable of. Nukkye on site.
Nukkye's still expecting someone to be main. But Na'Vi are making a noise.
Oh, not checking the left-hand side. Na'Vi all of a sudden are actually in the fight because they've got the site, and it's a 2v3, and it's Phantoms and Vandals against Bulldogs and the Guardian.
Also, Zyppan will get 1 orb off of this plant. If he gets another kill, that's Seekers with only 2 players alive on the enemy team. All of a sudden, very doable in the late round.
Anyone's round. Flank from Giants.
Oh, no.
Hoodie
This
on
is
the
bad,
back
though.
side.
The fact is, a player coming in B main and site players swinging 2 backside at the same time, that's almost impossible to play for Na'Vi.
Unless Giants don't time it right. Guiding Light to the side. Hoodie doesn't spot them. They know someone at least is there. Do they know that both of them are? No, SUYGETSU drops his life. Zyppan with one. Can he line them up? Looking for heads. It could have been a kill-out double, but it just isn't. This is going to be Giants on top, giving Na'Vi no chance.
Perfect corralling there of Giants on the retake. Sending a player into main, using the flash hit both players back sight. That's exactly what you want to see. Navi are going to have to be careful for these late re-aggresses, especially over in B main. With them committing so heavily, so many resources over towards mid. Just one player watching B main, that hurts, right? Navi were spread out 1-2-2, with the weak side of the map being B, and yet that's the area they wanted to move into. Well, it gets punished. Yes, Giants had to take that gamble, had to take that step forward, but it paid off, and it really shut down the options for Navi.
The thing is, it feels like cNed has got this added role that he has to be the playmaker now. Go for heroics, try and seek plays where they don't exist, and that often is a coin flip, right? Ends up costing them more, putting them on the back foot here. Good line for Rhyme. Does put out movement. Hiding away. But still, nukkye and Rhyme, they've got one on top, one at the bottom, and they're both collecting kills. Navi trying to salvage it with pistols. And there's actually a chance because they've got guns now.
Yeah, but
they've got to deal with Hoody.
Hoody's positioning is absolutely fantastic here. Still 2 players. He has to get through, but the rest of the team, the reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah. Hoody had to buy time. That's exactly what he did, waiting for his team to arrive, and they can all put their collective effort into shutting Navi down. 7-9, and that advantage is just increasing. Giants with every round of the second half so far.
Yeah, they just farmed up some huge ultimates as well. Showstopper, Seekers, Cosmic Divide. I mean, in a post plant, if you abandon the site after putting the spike down, and you're facing off against an Astro Wall, and then from behind it, there's a raise rocket there too. Like, you can't actually approach. You have to entrench yourself, play very far forward. So Navi going to be thinking about that one as they call a timeout here. See what exactly they can do. I think that was a bit of a throwaway round, right, on the pistols for them, going fully into B main. That's not something I expect we'll see very much from them again, as mid-play has been the option truly on their side.
Dreambros taking a timeout for Navi here, trying to see if they can figure this one out, but cNed really showing his emotions, holding back on it, very visible. All of them, frustration. I think it's clear. Definitely not what we're used to, but valiant effort for Giants. They've been reading the play of Navi, putting pressure on them all the time. They've never really let off of that pressure.
I want to see Navi, and I actually like they're moving over towards the A site. I want to see some more early A pressure. See if they can take control of A heaven. And we've already seen, you don't have to fully commit into the A site, but fighting off your wall up into heaven, and then activating perhaps into that Shao lurk. Shao, yes, he traded 1-for-1 in the last round, but has been the top performer thus far for Navi. And actually, with the positioning of Navi, I think this may be a bit of a copycat round. The Giants pulled off. Yeah, following the dog, up in towards heaven, no one they're able to interact with.
Yeah, the fight will commence actually quite a bit late, so by the time they get there, they're going to use a lot.
The difficulty is there's 2 players potentially fighting in mid, and Navi aren't looking for a pinch.
Early crunch here from Giants, looking to push forwards with the defenders, and cNed is able to catch one off guard. He looks to make a heroic play here. He's got assistance from 2 teammates pushing forwards. Asher does drop the Nebula. Still, Cloud finds himself a trade. Navi on top on the numbers, finally getting themselves some trades going their way.
Yeah, cNed falls, but the rest of the Navi is just right behind him, ready to fight through. And now Giants a bit confused. Shouldn't they be on A right now? What's actually happening? I think Angel's going to throw a flash to try and fake some kind of attempt over here, but I think you learn very quickly that nothing's actually happening.
Yeah, as soon as nukkye does peek this out, he'll figure it all. That Navi just sent that flash for a fake, and the rest of them are just moving to B.
Seems like a bit of a gamble, though. They really spread out, even up 4 versus 2. Giants weren't really in position to punish as they were trying to re-clear space over towards A.
Yeah, Angel is alone here, isn't he?
But this always makes me a little bit nervous, though, because Navi are playing so much on their own. Only Zyppan and Shao and SUYGETSU are in positions to actually trade off one another. The round is turbo doomed, I think, for Giants, but there is a world where if they were re-clearing back in the mid a little bit swifter, things could have gone awry.
Yeah, the economically sound decision is just the save, and that's exactly what Giants are doing.
It's just little things like this you notice, and you know, maybe one round it's not problematic, but if this were to continue to happen, that's something you could point out to. Not even be like, okay, numbers advantage, maybe playing a little bit too loose and out and about. I wonder if they'll actually challenge a fight towards CT though. think the money is fine enough for them if they wanted to try and take some kind of a fight. And Navi definitely don't have much in the tank, so.
No risks.
Nothing doing this time around.
Nope.
Just some good old hard yakka. Standing in between us and victory.
Bit of stand backing, that is what these teams need, right? Get the hopes up yet again, feel more comfortable. Feel that they're not alone.
Navi going to be happy just to get an attack win here after losing the first 4 in a row. And, I mean, look, their more committal A attempt did look very strong for them. Now, though, much more attention near B. And actually, cNed with the Blade Storm here.
Again, leading the charge.
The difficulty is, I think, the ults again from nukkye and Rhyme, so strong in a post-plant situation. Even on the site hit, we saw previously when it was the B exec, cNed dashed onto site, and there was just an Astra Suck right in front, so no one actually could follow off of that. There's a world where if that comes in, the raise up from heaven too, the stall power is there. Now this time, the pull comes in a little bit earlier. The commit actually didn't go through.
Standard Navi tactic, try and bait out a lot of utility for Giants, so when they get to the latter stage of the round, they'll be able to have an advantageous situation.
Ooh, this dog not going to see anything, I don't believe. I don't believe so.
Yeah. I don't think it can turn right at the end there, so no.
That's a good flash.
But that guiding light definitely figures out
That's the thing, because you always know after one piece of utility, that's when the enemy team is going to try to punish it. The flash, they're perfect.
cNed pushing in very quickly, trying to follow up with the Trailblazer, dashes through. No longer having the ability to dash is really important. Now, moving in further, guiding light together with the Showstopper, interrupting Angels' push. cNed so aggressive in there, wants to punch on them, wants to put daggers in their bodies. So eager to put Navi back on top, but still, it's a 4v3, 25 seconds, trying to get the spike down, and Fatinho on site taken down, dealing with Cloud quickly. Navi with the advantage.
Navi fighting their way through the Showstopper. Zyppan there for a couple, cNed as well. Rhyme stuck in a 1 versus 3 now.
You can tell how frantic cNed was there, man.
Yeah.
He wanted that, punching his way through like this.
Good reposition, though, from Zyppan. You could see, again, all 3 players were spread out now. Zyppan, SUYGETSU holding hands just a little bit.
He's going to give it a go. He's going to give him a run for their money. Or maybe just exit.
It's really just exits, yeah. Still, though.
Repositions, and that's SUYGETSU with a kill. 2 remaining for Navi. Scoreboard signing 9-9. I'm getting quite a deja vu from the previous map. Things are going neck and neck.
Also, 2 of the players, Fatinho and Hoody, were down to 0 credits on that last round. So this is going to be a half by force at best for Giants. Navi absolutely getting the ball rolling on this one. I thought there was a world where maybe they just call it off and split into B after seeing 2 players down on that A side. Actually, I don't think they were aware of the player stuck down in hell. But regardless, very nice attempt. And I think continually we see these executes from Navi over towards the A site working very effectively. Even that time showing a bit of a fake towards B. The presence there early and then swinging back right after they hear the Sky utility go throw down. And importantly for Giants, it is 2 hero rifles on the light armor for them. Still going to be very happy going into the next.
Yeah, it's not impossible for Giants to do damage this one. Absolutely not.
It's more about how can they actually put nukkye and Cloud in positions to find opening picks. But they're not actually, that's not really the mantra for them. nukkye is back in spawn where you buy guns.
Yeah, there's 2 ideologies you have when you have 2 hero rifles. It's to either guarantee that they're in a position to save or a position to shine.
100%. I think that in the current, wow, nice read from Angel there, just tapping that one. Expecting the Rhyme pullback. It has been around that 50 to 110 mark. The Giants have looked for the B main reaggress. So good awareness on his part. Yeah, no need for nukkye and Cloud to save here because of the light armor strats. They'll be perfectly fine going into the next. So take your fights and give your team a chance.
nukkye, this is where he's supposed to shine. Paint Shield's thrown onto the site, maybe the delay, and funnel them into his crosshair.
Whoa, look at that pit up in heaven. That is funky.
That is funky, and it closes off a lot of Giants' approach here, right? Where do they enter? They're essentially funneled into B main.
Now Cloud has a couple of flashes to try and work his way through with the information as well, but he's so concerned. There's so many different spots players could be hiding in mid, so he takes the extra time, due diligence to clear out. It may actually turn into a late flank or exits for him again.
Guiding light, cNed can't capitalize. Giants still gonna give this a go. 1 dropping, Hoody no more. nukkye can't find the kill, and without it, he's gonna call it off. Drop back with the rifles they have. And Fatinho maybe to go in for an extra pick, but that's all she wrote this round. Giants, they're going to have to concede it. Navi potentially put themselves on top of double digits. cNed wanting to go for more. It's a statement piece. Oh, nice.
The little satchel interrupts the fire there from Zyppan.
Good tech.
I like that. I also appreciated the tech of SUYGETSU pulling down that that Viper pit in heaven. The second cNed wanted to swing the corner and go for the fight. Nice stuff on both sides there, but it's Navi again securing themselves the round. Look, the site went virtually uncontested. I think Angel had a great read on that spray down through the Astra pullback. And you can see as these teams spend more time in the server with one another, they become more accustomed to the habits of what Giants are trying to do with those late garage re-aggresses.
It's a big back and forth, a massive back and forth. And it's mentally draining, right? Because you never feel comfortable, you never feel in charge. That's not a really nice place for a player to be in, right?
No. It's tough. You call a timeout, try to get your footing back a little bit. I mean, Rhyme's been sitting on this Cosmic Divide for, I don't know how long, 4 rounds now? I think he had that since they won the 15th. Angel also has access to Thrash. So that's something we could see come into play. I think one of the things that it was Navi actually using it back on Lotus. They used it to sort of scout out the early angles away and then sort of spend half the duration running to clear the first 2 corners, half of it running back to you so you could quickly pick that one up, pop back into it not too long after. And I think especially, I mean, on the B side, I think that's a little bit harder perhaps, but if it just clears back sight and then it's sitting for you back on default, that could actually be really strong the more I think about it. So you could just leave him back sight and he'd be completely protected from heaven.
Navi showing early presence towards the left-hand side, but quickly rotating over now towards the right. Obviously, Spike left in the proximity of the B site. There's probably an indication that they will end up in that area.
We saw the dog come out from Sky, and you can see Cloud. About 5-10 seconds after the dog is going to throw out that bird. Make sure there's no timing window in which the walk-up could happen. It's happening now, though, very loudly.
Navi actually has spent quite a little bit of utility in mid, keeping Giants as busy in that direction, meaning there's only one on that B site trying to hold off main.
cNed just wants to find a pick, cause havoc, pull a rotation out of mid, but it's actually a walk-up. 2 players from Giants. These mid-round pushes have been successful for them, and they could very quickly activate into a flank. And they're going to hear cNed. They're going to wait in market this entire time and just shoot cNed in the side of the head.
What Thrasher can't do is go up walls, and that's where Rhyme was. Now
turn around.
Down, and he's back into the fight. nukkye finding cNed, updrafting up. Angel onto the site, stopping it from happening. B site under the control of Navi, but it's still a 4v4.
You are divided.
Giants splitting up now, not wanting to put 2 players into B main, where Navi would expect them.
The pace is so off.
Satchel out.
But now they're trying to ump it up. nukkye tries to go for the impossible. SUYGETSU ready for it, and now has to draw it back up again. Angel's got his teammates back. Cloud with a bird in his hands has to drop, and Navi increase the gap.
Navi refused to lose a single gunfight right there. The only player that falls is cNed, who's just getting absolutely cheesed. 2 players waiting between him and the rest of his team. Can't ask for more than that. The Cosmic Divide being so powerful there. I mean, I can't help but feel like there was maybe a flash lacking to get nukkye passed through that wall. Just gets shot in the toes. And then when Fatinho tried to get in there himself, it's a quick dodge, too many different angles, try and clear away. He's unsuccessful making it in there.
Ooh, good early pick here for Fatinho. cNed dropping was a lot of the reason why Navi was so successful on these attacks. The explosiveness he brings into them, but now no longer being an asset to the attack, can quite dwindle their chances.
I think that was Thrash we heard running all the way down onto the A site. Going absolutely mental. That's what they were trying to track Cloud with, but they were unsuccessful spamming him out through the smoke with all the utility raining down. Shao, can he do something? If he were to find the pick in mid, that would open up so many different options, but this wall from Navi doesn't allow them to really split A into mid all too effectively. They could if they want, but leaves them vulnerable to so many different angles.
Really does. Still, Navi Comfortable to keep it going. Cloud having to drop back, force back with everything thrown at him, but still a play in heaven could be a menace. Angel pushing forward. He's got the spike. The spike is now dropped so deep in. Hoodie does get punished eventually, but still Cloud onto the back of it. He's got reinforcements. There's 2 onto the A site. NAVI have to fall back.
This is so tough. What do they do? Only 25 seconds. It has to be an A hit. But these two players in perfect position trade off one another. Cloud has a flash. We'll send it out. They're not concerned about CT anymore. They can focus on these three.
Vitinho, so clean with that shot, and there's not much time. NAVI,
there's no
running
time.
out of it.
It's a save.
And the call is made to save the guns. On that 10-second mark, it was now or never. If they got in the pick, they would have gone for it, but no. They draw back, and that allows Giants to be right back into the fight.
Wow.
An arm length away from NAVI.
Two critical things going wrong for NAVI. First, the initial kill from Vitinho onto cNed. No more dive to get into the site. And then after that, Thrash wasn't able to convert into the kill onto Zyppan, who I believe, or not Zyppan, the player who had actually dropped down into hell. They were trying to spam and kill away that player, but it did not work. And after that, playing for Heaven control was just very hard.
Man, it feels like these two teams have got a lasso on each other and they're just pulling at them.
They really are.
All the time. It's like, you're not getting away from me.
And even when one player falls, there's like 4 other players ready to step up directly behind him.
Yep.
That round was Angel, like completely fearless, running into Heaven, using all his own utility to set him up. And here we go, cNed.
Yeah, last time he got spammed through and ended up falling. Now double Cloudburst to try and keep himself alive, pull his team in. Nice little attempt. They do cross over. Vitinho dead, putting NAVI in charge. Cloud doesn't want to hold back on the pressure. Angel dropping. They don't win any of their fights. How do Giants win that? How on earth is it that simple?
Giants playing so well in tandem with one another. Cloud gets the first kill, so the swing comes through, but Hoodie's right there, right next to him.
Great collaborative play from Giants. Fundamental strong, NAVI shaky. Fully taken advantage of. Trailblazer spotting where Shao is. They've got to take advantage of that, meaning there's probably 2 on site. Stun on cNed, and he's trapped on the other side of the Cosmos. Nukkye dealing with him. Now 2v4, 2 per player, and they both succeed.
Hold.
Spike being defused. Can they pull in time? Off the spike. 2 on 2, cNed delivering. It's close! cNed on top, NAVI on 12. 1 round away of putting their names on the map line.
cNed pulls NAVI out of the grave that round. It looked completely lost for them. But a 3K to close it out. Playing on both sides of the Cosmic Divide. I mean, Giants started off this retake absolutely perfectly. The utility was there too. But then NAVI back and forth, up and down, over that wall. Giants don't hear him going for the updraft. The element of verticality unsuspected in their minds. That's exactly what NAVI needed. Speak of verticality, hold on. I think Nukkye boosted up Rhyme there onto the upper box that you can see he has no satchels in the inventory. I think that's how he got the upper angle.
Quite a lot of smokes, right? Nebulas within the poison, within the Viper's pit as
This
well.
is crazy. Hold on, because there's B main control for Giants,
Yeah.
a Viper's pit in mid, and yet there's 2 players in vents. So now NAVI can actually wrap around and pinch into this A site.
There's a good understanding from both teams where the question marks are on the map.
And what this means for Giants is they could activate a very fast flank potentially, either all the way through spawn or potentially through mid because of this pit. They could walk out of there with Hoodie as well, but I say go all the way around.
The more NAVI wait, the better picture Giants have on the position of their opposition as well. Pushing forward, that's going to clear the Heaven side, meaning there's 1 on Heaven. Cloud gets spotted. No, he doesn't. cNed walks right past him. Still, has to move out of position due to the whiplash. Angel, good shot onto Cloud still. NAVI with a chance. Still have to deal with 1 on site though. Vitinho finding his kill. Hoodie on the back flank. cNed trying to stop it down, but it's still a 3-3.
Watch Hoodie. Vitinho finds the first. They're trying to pinch down onto Vitinho now, but the knives aren't good. The
Rhyme
knives
is
aren't
also
good.
flanking. Rhyme is also flanking. Flank on a flank, and it's a 1-on-2.
Shao to close. 20 seconds remaining.
Spike to be planted. Lacking on info.
Oh, the util.
Stunned. Out of it though.
But they know.
And sound. Spraying forwards. But when there's 2 shooting towards you, the chances are in favor of the plenty. And Giants still in the game.
Love explosions.
What a chaotic round. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the choices you have to make in a round like that. Do I flank? Do I not? Can we commit now? Can we push past the Viper's pit? with the pressure of match point on their back too. Giants come up heads nearly every time. And it was Rhyme deciding to go the long way around. It was so good.
Thrasher available for Angel, Viper's, well, Showstopper from nukkye. Two very good ultimates that could dictate the pace.
Yeah.
Oh, Thrasher's used straight away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a scouting tool. Honestly, Thrash is best at scouting. Actually sending all the way down to the site. I'm a little shocked to see that. Trying to clear hell and directly under heaven.
Ooh,
but now no showstopper. Nukkye falls.
That's really important. An ultimate and a tool to be down, depleted. Rhyme on the bottom end. Can't finish the job. And now it's a 3-on-4. Giants have to win the trade. Angel, he cannot miss those. He's got to be hitting himself for that one, but now the rest of the team has to focus.
All three from heaven. Quick heals come on in. Vitinho has 2 flashes, 1 already out. Cloud's been able to drop down hell.
Oh, Zyppan is so low, barely really breathing. A whiff of air will knock him out of him. And now 3-on-3. Cloud pushing forwards. All of the 3 players of Giants looking to move together.
He knows, he saw the head. The call is good.
Chu holding the line, guiding light, that's good, but it blinds his teammate. Cloud takes the fight alone. Is it good enough? But Giants, they come out on top. And for the second map in a row, we will be going to overtime.
And for the second map in a row, it's NAVI on 12. It's Giants crawling their way back with immaculate retakes. One after another, the utility, the coordination, player to player.
Remember that moment. Remember when Angel didn't hit the shot, the corner that he was holding. Those moments add up and mess with your psyche. NAVI, 3 overtimes out of the 4 maps they've played in VCT EMEA so far. Their inability to close out maps is messing with them.
But it's not over for them just yet. The momentum siding with Giants, with a timeout to go over their options. Giants have to move back to their attacking side, which was dominated with Hey main play, I believe, really abusing mid. Right, NAVI went out, I believe, 5 rounds up to kick off the first half, but Giants were able to come back very, very close afterwards. Really were able to pinpoint that, hey, NAVI just aren't playing for mid, and when they do, it's a solo player here, right? We can pinch down into vents, we can punish that, find timings to get a player up into vents, up into male.
Look, this frustration for NAVI comes in hand with the excitement of Giants. They're feeling it right now,
Absolutely.
right? They brought it back to an overtime. They were down 12-10. There was 2 opportunities for NAVI to close it out, have a map on the board of their own, but no, Giants just recover from it. And the fashion that they did it in,
oh yeah. Look, this is the easiest OT speech ever. Like, hey guys, remember what we just did to them on Icebox? Let's do it again. It's already underway. From winning the 23rd and the 24th.
It's an overtime curse for NAVI, perhaps. If they end up losing this, it's going to be called the NAVI OT curse. It's going to be called that. There's no going around it, so they're going to have to mitigate that.
cNed went for the operator purchase and immediately got wallbanged, I believe, with a little bit of spam. Out in A main, abandons that endeavor entirely. And I think Giants, their read here, I do believe they know that the Jet was in this area with the op. After seeing it, perhaps the Jet rotates off. Now we can move over into the site.
It's a stack. It's a stack by Giants showing their presence nowhere else other than the A site.
Not much of a fallback plan because they don't have that mid pressure, but all the utility is being waylaid at NAVI now.
Everything is dropping into this attack. Nothing will be kept back. Angel onto elbow, looking for help, but he gets one before he drops. Is that good enough? It has to be. NAVI rotating over. All of them are here, apart from Shao.
The spike in a pretty tough position with no smoke towards heaven. No one's actually holding heaven, though.
Gets out of the pickle. NAVI realize it's just a 3v4. They can't afford it. They're going to wait for Shao.
Watch this. Yeah, Shao's flank back through sewers. Shao versus Hoody.
Hoody's aware of it, man. It's a matter of timing, though.
He has to be aware of so many different angles, though, because as that smoke pops up, he thinks maybe he's getting pushed from main.
3 in charge of elbow. There's an opportunity for SUYGETSU to help out here, but
it's taking a lot of time.
It's taking so much time. Hoody even wins the trade, and he's spraying through the smoke. He's still alive. Vitinho doing his duty on elbow as well. SUYGETSU to do it all. Absolutely everything. It's all in his arms. But no, Giants turn it all around after being behind, and NAVI on 2 opportunities to get the victory. It's Giants now on match points.
Giants are criminals today. 2 maps. NAVI the lead, NAVI on match point. And now Giants with a chance to immediately close. I have been impressed with this team today. Not giving a chance over to NAVI. I mean, Hoody outplaying in the 1 versus 2, and then after he gets the first kill, not over peeking. He just hides completely.
Yeah.
What's that player to do? Wait until he pops out, run at him like a psycho, or go to site? There's no winning line at that point. Giants are playing high percentage Valorant right now, and it's paying off in this comeback.
We're definitely getting to see more of Giants this game, right? Obviously, playing up against Fnatic was definitely the hardest task for them. And considering they're playing up against the top 2 Goliaths of this league, one after the other. Now, if you beat these Giants, or at least have a good showing against them, the coast should be fairly easy.
I mean, honestly,
Allegedly,
this is the
supposedly.
type of week, right? 5 days that you can redefine expectations for the next 2 months. If NAVI fall here again today in a second series, if Giants are able to find the win after faltering against a Fnatic with a sub, Giants are here to raise the bar for themselves, for the perception of the fans and the community.
Nukkye wants to staple himself as a top player of the EMEA. The same could be said about, there's so much proving to be done, right? There's so much proving to be done on this side of Giants. So many excellent players that haven't made it big.
Once again, we saw the double boost there from Rhyme. Raze shows on the ground, and that's the only agent that can achieve any amount of verticality. So they're never going to clear this angle. If they commit into B, which they may do now with that kill, Rhyme is here to kill them.
Rhyme, they don't know where he is still. They don't know where he is.
cNed didn't clear him.
Out. They've got no clue. He can just hold his
my
ground.
God.
Trigger, discipline. Trigger, discipline. Rhyme, 3 kills to his name, turning the tide around.
Shao!
But Shao, he saves the day. No way.
You have got to be kidding me. On death's door, Shao stands up. He comes knocking straight back.
It felt over.
It was over.
It felt over. Rhyme had it. 3 kills to his name. Then Shao peeks out from heaven. All of a sudden, it's like, wait, stop. This is my show. It's not over. NAVI, put your heads together, boys. We're good. We can come back. It's not over yet. Another round of overtime. Round 27.
Icebox was defined by the clutches from nukkye. NAVI already. Shao, Zyppan, multiple rounds. Just to get us here, just to put us in this position. Giants back on the attack, and this is giving me a reminder of those A to B hits we saw through mid. Because of the positioning of Rhyme and Coutinho.
Giants. Chill out a bit. Bit of a default spread out.
The awkward thing is Spike is a little bit further behind, so they'd have to pick that up before committing to any sort of play here. And they may actually decide not to go up through heaven. By now, they've seen both Sky and Gecko in heaven. So the ability for those 2 agents to throw flashes, concusses outside, or past that their own Viper wall, maybe something they don't want to deal with, and instead can go for a B split. It should be heavy through mid. You'd expect at least 3 players in mid, but Raze as well. So it'll be 4 up here, cutting straight in, but there's been 4 players already to rotate from NAVI.
NAVI have got such a good read on this.
And a huge flank as well from Shao.
Nearly impenetrable, but can they break their way through? The line is great. The great wall of NAVI. This site shall be called. No one shall pass. No one shall cross. And NAVI with another chance at match points.
NAVI downloaded Giants that round. Absolutely nothing fooled them. The slow pace exploited. Even having the flank option, right? They didn't even have to show that to Giants, but that was going to be there if there was any question of who was going to own the site.
The Giants have done it before. They've been able to switch it back, right back up. It's not their first rodeo. We've seen it in overtime. For Navi, this is a chance, right? This is the opportunity to get themselves split. This Pearl on the line. Steal. Imagine, third map. How many rounds have we had?
Too many. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Full blast on Angel there, down to 76.
So Angel shows his presence and just backs off. The rest of Navi aim to cook something up on A.
I'm curious whether or not there'll be a mid-creep from Giants this round. They've done it before, but because they encountered the Gecko early, perhaps not.
I got the spike.
I do think nukkye actually deciding not actually to cut across mid for the time being. 5 players now from Navi coming into the site, making a lot of noise.
Carpus in. Cned looking to drop through. Cloud delivering, but still. No one has crossed from Navi. The only player that crossed died. So ground to be gained on Heaven. Still. Shao attempting to put pressure in main to allow Hoody's position to be taken advantage
nukkye
over from Heaven.
They're busting out, but nukkye invents has an opportunity here.
Angel is on the right spot to take him down. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is where it's all turned around. But the hero of the previous time, Rhyme, is on the fight. And he's only got 2 to deal with.
It was Wingman that got the plant too, so you can see no one's actually on site. They can play so far back here. Navi not going to give an early fight to Rhyme.
Where's the plant? It's planted for Heaven.
It's open, yes. Rhyme has to move fast.
Oh, and there's a potential star there. No ability available, but Rhyme doesn't know that.
With obscuring vision.
There's the enemy pull potentially. There it is. Wait.
Gets back into it.
That's half. Wait. Wait.
Spray down coming through. Navi read the play, spray in, and get themselves a map win.
What a show here. My word. Navi and Giants testing one another, pushing them to the absolute limits. But Navi, I think it was the previous defending round, they just completely read Giants like a book, shut them down at every step, and put together another clean A exec. We are going over to Pearl.
Man,
and give us another OT.
What a
we'll
show!
Go all day.
What a show! Okay, Navi, good job. They've done it. They've closed out a map. That's what they needed. They haven't done that yet in VCT EMEA. Imagine. Or did they do that? Was it
no?
No, they haven't
it was
done
close.
That.
We thought they were going to push it there, but we'll have to see what awaits us on the other side of this break. Pearl is there, and only one of these teams can walk away a winner.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings.
It's F-Flex on the beat. F-Flex on the beat. F-Flex on the beat.
What a day of Valorant we're having here at Messe Berlin. I'm Youngsu and I'm joined once again by Kakuka and Tom. We should have known that there was going to be another OT. It's split and Tom's here.
Yeah, but he's
You can't put
usually
everything
on
on
the other
me.
side, you know? I was like, he's not casting. It's not going to happen. But yeah, somehow it did. So what do you have to say in your defense?
Yeah, apologize to us right now.
Nothing ever happens to me when it's Pearl.
Oh,
okay.
Yet. So
For now,
that's
so
another
let's
one.
change
That's another one.
that.
But I can't believe that went to another OT. I felt like maybe Navi
What do you
could've
mean?
closed
You
it out.
said at like 12:10
okay.
you went it's OT. You
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
did think it could go to another OT.
Okay, I will. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's just because we wanted to see a little bit more. Maybe we wanted to see. For example, my take from this is that I kind of want to understand the intention of the Gecko. I was not surprised. I don't know about you, Tom. I know that, you know, it was being a little bit of Disney, a little bit of winging to control mid, but I wasn't getting that feeling that Angel was using it to the best of its potential.
There's a part of me that thinks that we consistently look at like new agents as like, what is this going to do? Whereas I feel like a lot of the time, especially when it comes to someone like Angel, it's being used for just maybe more minor details than we expected.
Yeah,
so I
probably.
think they are using it purely as an initiator. Find that information, so a lot of the utility isn't reclaimed. I think that's one of the things that we always expected, but at the same time, is Angel finding out spots that people are there? Yes, the same way he would a Sky Flash. So I kind of see the idea behind it is like, okay, I know there's someone here, so now we can adapt to try and play around that, which I don't think is necessarily bad, but is it going to make him look good? No, not really, but that's fine.
I like some mosh pits. There were some mosh pits that I think that were very useful.
I want to see more of it, like you said. I feel like we didn't see enough. But what we did see, though, is both of these teams are going back and forth. I'm going to throw us back to a round before OT, but Kakuka, a very, very important round for Navi to win here, especially after the pistol.
Definitely. And, of course, being the score side, as we're seeing right now, right after the plant, they use this Viper's ult to completely deny the entrance for the boys of Giants, either if it's from mid, either it's from CT. It's just not safe. And it's not only that, the fact that Vitinho can barely get any information from that 0 point tells them, I don't know if we can do this, and they already have to start thinking of the next round.
Yeah, I think it's one of those scenarios, and something that I think SUYGETSU did quite well on the defense as well, is that when he was taking Heaven control, it's just so difficult to play through all of that utility. And with the fact that it was clear they wanted to try and split through that on their attack, I think Navi just went, okay, now we're on the attack and defending this area. Let's just shut it out altogether and make it so that we can still have visibility on everywhere else they try and push. But if they're going to try and come from Heaven, well, there's no angle we have to check anymore.
Yeah, in fact, SUYGETSU playing with his utility is one of the most beautiful things that you can see in Valorant, because he's pretty good. But also Shao, I think, like, to me, my eyes were definitely on the controllers for this one, because you saw that there was a lot of usage. Rhyme was so close when that counter ability. I can't.
It had to be Shao, though, didn't it? I think him on Gecko was a little bit underwhelming, but him on, by what it looks like, anything else is great.
Yeah, I think, again, it's just one of those things with new agents, but for Shao, he's been versatile for a very long time. Like, when we first saw him, like, sort of burst onto the scene, I wanted to sort of talk about, like, oh, he was an amazing jet. He could play a great Raze. Like, we called him the Shao Stopper, and now people won't even think of something like that because he's played so many different agents since, and he masters pretty much all of them. So I guess if anybody was going to make Gecko work, it probably will be Shao eventually, but for now, I'd rather see him on other stuff.
But also, I got to say, when Shao got that 2K in overtime, when Rhyme did all the work, did you two think that Giants had won? Like, just before they cut?
Oh, yeah, I was already standing up, being like, oh my God, I'm going to say congratulations, boys. But no, I very quickly shut down. And I remember hearing Pablo's being like, oh my God, Giants has done it. And no, that lasted for like half a second.
We got debated by Shao. We should have known. We should have known. But one man I want to bring up is cNed as well. Traditionally, a very cool, calm, collected dude, doesn't really show any emotions. Gets an ace sometimes at international lands, and he just kind of shrugs. But today, I feel like he was fired up. He was really kind of involved. We can see some real emotions on him. Like, look at him here. We never see this. We never see this.
Never. People may say,
oh my goodness,
that was close.
See, there's definitely a word that's used quite a lot in the CIS that I think he might have said a few times in there. Maybe he's picking it up. He's picking it up.
That eye roll is fantastic.
That
eye roll is actually iconic. That should be a meme. That's got to be a meme.
I think we need to keep the compilation going for the rest of the weeks to see if we can see some more emotions coming from cNed.
I want someone to make like a meme out of that and just do like, oh, every time like Angel runs in and dies.
And then you can do the same thing,
the White House.
but get it like with Nats, where he's just like,
yeah. And Leo, I feel like Leo's joined that gang of just like ice cold players. But you know, if cNed is getting really emotionally involved, that must be a really tough situation for them. But they've dug themselves out of that. And Giants are all of a sudden in the back foot as we go into Pearl. How do we feel about this?
So the thing is that we have never ever seen Giants on this map. So the possibilities are completely are endless. And we're talking about a Giants that so far has won every pistol and still did not manage to close their map pick of Split. So it's a Giants that is definitely open to surprises as well.
yeah, it's been a map that more recently as well has been sort of revolutionized by the Harbor Edition. I think it's become such a really strong attacking way to play over onto the B side of the map. So I want to see if that's something that either of these teams are running, because I think it's really, really strong with being able to section off different parts and then just get that strong B side after plant, which has been so fantastic for a lot of different teams. Then again, though, there are other ways to do things where I feel like almost what the likes of NAVI have done in the past, where you have that almost cNed the pinnacle and then everybody else almost like DRX playing around to set him up. So
I would love to know what Angel was talking about there. That looked very animated.
Yeah.
But also, if any stats nerds are out there at home, have we ever had a 3-map OT in EMEA? Like OT, OT, OT?
Probably with the old Navi.
Well, I mean, when Pansy and Hypod casting, maybe one of those times.
Oh yeah, definitely Pansy and Hypod.
But have we ever had actually, like, in the league, in the history? I don't remember. I don't remember it happening.
Because I think it might have happened. Maybe not the 3 maps. You know what I mean? Maybe
definitely
the
the 2.
Yes.
But the 3.
I also don't know if it
happened.
would have gone like as far, because that's the other thing. These OTs haven't been like single OT then done.
I think
like
Navi might have had it
the
last
ones
year.
that Navi have been having have been going on for quite a while. So they might be looking for having the longest series ever at this stage, excluding best of 5s, obviously.
No. Like Navi, I think last year had one that was over 3 hours. I think it was.
Well, they had 24-22, but if they get 3 maps in a row that are all OT, they might beat that.
I'll look for the number.
I will up you with Liquid versus Oxygen. I think that was 2 days, right? We had to. We
I don't know
had
if
to
we're
run it back
counting
the day
ones-
after.
I don't think we count technical pauses in those days.
It was still the longest series.
Chrono
It didn't
Break.
finish for 24 hours.
Yeah, you could also put Ascend as well in there. When
Oh, that was like 2 days. Wait, that was more than 24 hours.
Very intense day.
Yeah. I think we should look into it. We should definitely look into it. But if you're the players out there right now, you know, this is not an easy thing to do. On a LAN environment, you're tired. You probably didn't anticipate playing this many rounds in a row. And I think if it was Navi last year, I would have been like, okay, they're going to close this out. They have so much experience, they can do this. But I don't know if I agree with that anymore.
Oh, Angel's been there a million times before.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably been on LAN since some of the players on the server right now were even born. So I don't think he's going to be stressing whatsoever.
I think that the pressure that Navi went through last year, if we think about the entire thing, I think that they've gone through enough, and this is just another day at the office for them.
Well, I want to see what comp we're going to get here on Pearl. We are going to Agent Select. And now, as Bea, you said Giants, they've never played Pearl before as this team. So I want to see what we're going to get out here.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get any kind of surprise. Also, if from the side of Navi, are we going to see any changes? We were talking about how Harbor had become
Cloud.
so... Okay, so this is the second team. Okay!
It's Gecko versus Gecko! Suck it, Tom. Suck it. Tom,
So
you're
you just
wrong.
love it when
Tom
Tom
is...
loses?
I love it when he's wrong. I love it. But yeah, talk me through what you're expecting here from the Gecko versus Gecko.
A lot of B plants.
Yes.
Just sending him in from very far away. I would have liked to see it combined with the Harbor, but I think you can just have like
too much,
there's so many awkward angles, and with Astra Util being able to place those stars from so far away, you can really set up some lovely executions.
The compositions as well, like the idea behind them is so similar, because even though SUYGETSU is going to be in the Killjoy and it's going to have a Viper in front of him, the idea of the agent is to fulfill the same role. Maybe some abilities are a little bit different, especially in the attack is where you will find the biggest one, but I still think that they came in on interpreting the map the same way.
Well, I was talking about this could potentially be the longest series ever, especially if we get another OT here. Ender, you've just come over to us. How do you feel about the prospect of already breaking a record?
All right, what a show so far. 2 maps that were insanely close, overtimes on both of them, and multiple laps of overtime, if you will.
Our players just played 60 rounds of Valorant in 2 maps. That's a lot of rounds of Valorant. You usually don't see anything like that, and now they get to play a third. I think both teams have shown so much grit throughout today. I'm really excited to see what our teams have prepared for us, because again, we have double geckos. It's almost mirror comps apart from a Killjoy and a Viper. And we've seen some of the most ridiculous clutches from individuals ever. I mean, Zyppan had his round, Shao had his round, nukkye had Icebox. The map just belonged to him entirely.
Yep.
Who's gonna step up?
It's not only a question of the teams and their mental capacity and the way they've prepared around these maps, is the fact that someone has to step up at the end of the day when it matters most.
Yeah. When the pressure's on. And as we get on to Pearl.
Getting on to Pearl, third map of the day.
Shout out to VCT Americas, starting pretty soon. But until then, hang out here. We've got the Gigabanger overtimes. Over and over again. All right, so
and
Cloud's.
The good games.
That's very true. Cloud's just going to recover Dizzy there. Not be too unhappy with how things go. The nice thing is cNed can get very quickly over here to fight back from Art. Hasn't run into anything, but this wall could be problems.
Well, they will be making their way onto the site, being able to spend an extra player to the delivery of the hold in the backside. Zyppan, how does he get 3? And how does he keep on going? But no, ended up being stopped by Cloud and Hoody are very, very low. Could be quickly be picked up. And SUYGETSU catching them off guard on the off angle. Cloud can't find the head. Angel, the captain of NAVI, delivering on the final blow. And there you have it, NAVI on the board.
Yeah, gorgeous. I mean, I guess you'd call that a fast retake there, since Wingman was technically planting the spike. Just shutting down Giants. Giants kind of want to just drop that one down there, leave like Patino on site, and then back on out, but wasn't going to be the case. And sort of talk a little bit more about this gecko theory on the map. I think this is a map almost more than any where it's really hard to actually plant the spike, right? Think that B site, especially, so many angles you can get spammed from, not a whole lot of cover, unless you're rocking a Sage comp, which isn't super popular anymore. And this A site as well, if you sort of tuck yourself in there, you can actually plant the spike without having secret control or without having, you know, art control. You can just drop that one down. All you really need is one player to sort of guide it into the site, and that, I think, is going to be Fatino a lot of the time.
Giants actually going to move up very quickly towards this mid side, enter from Arts. It's going to be 3 players defending, actually. Very strong hold for NAVI if the crunch does commence in that direction.
Unlucky for both these teams is they're both Gecko teams on this map, so they're going to be very ready for a lot of these dizzies that are going to be thrown straight on up. You can see with 4 players in mid, Giants quick to shoot that one down out of the air.
I think with Geckos, now there's a much bigger reason to be looking up than ever before.
It's true. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of like the other things you used to be able to shoot.
There are recon bolts, there are daggers. But most of them, there's now a lineup where it's no longer that visible, right? From a position where you're attacking, perhaps. But for Gecko, his abilities have to be visible on your screen for you to be able to be affected.
That's very true. Except Wing, he's so loud. I feel like he just bothers me with how much running around he does. It's obnoxious. If there's 2 Wingmans, it's impossible. Your ear's completely ineffective.
Coutinho, close margins there. Still, classic right click. Oh, it's a bit rough by the end of it, but a couple of kills forward to the laps of Giants. Well, NAVI are able to guarantee that the site is all clean and swept, being the janitors of the story. Now,
the janitors premiere in a lot of stories.
I don't know. But this one, we've got the cleaners trying to sweep up Hoody, but he's a very difficult speck of dust that to clean.
Yeah, I also don't think the cleaners are usually in them either.
Well, there you go. Done their job. Swept the floor.
Now the snipers. There are a lot of stories about snipers. Let me tell you.
Quite a bit, quite a bit. I feel like janitors deserve more stories.
And he walked over to the bathroom. The stall was very messy.
Hey, look, they get to be in places on off-peak hours where interesting things happen, where people think there's nobody watching. So,
actually, for real though, shout out to the janitors out there.
Yeah, hell
respect.
Yeah. Necessary.
Not
very necessary.
An easy job.
No. Anyway, Logitech Power Up round coming up, where we'll be seeing Giants on a buy. Obviously, 3 rifles for NAVI. Right, we started to see quite a bit of this more rifles being brought into the second round so they can be saved over to the next, or even no one investing. There's a player not investing on the second, so they can bring up an extra rifle for the next.
Yeah, and cNed will actually be able to op in the next round. That's really what this is about for him. Just sitting on the Marshall that I believe SUYGETSU just chucked on over to him.
High chance for NAVI to come out on top here. Zyppan does drop. One of the rifles gone.
Really awkward, like, clear there from Zyppan. I don't think he really knew where he wanted to be on site, was maybe trying to get over towards Church. I don't know. That was very, very strange from him. And you can see Shao actually takes the mantle and tucks right in, close right.
Difficult spot, definitely, which is why Angel is there to assist if needed.
Luckily, there's no Viper. Also a little harder to block that one off. Everyone's flashed.
Nice one. Line up, wingman onto the side, trying to get the spike down. Coutinho dealing with the players before he focuses on the denial of the spike plant, but no, still, little buddy gets it done. And now, down to 3 on 4. Giants, advantage is theirs. They've got the pressure onto NAVI with the spike being down. Nebula drops, Coutinho takes care of it. And SUYGETSU up against him. Ooh, dash onto the side, the timing was perfect for him. It would have been challenged that second, but no, he's alive and he can peek again. cNed. Less than optimal weapon, but he's going to walk in through library.
Hoodie finally plugged in his keyboard. He's now working back into art, but being cleared the whole time. He shoots SUYGETSU.
Just looks away at the wrong time. Not the best outcome, cNed. Can he find anyone? Yes, cleaning up Coutinho.
Blocking sight.
We'll get on Spike, but
no time.
No time. Absolutely no time there. So, Giants finding their way on the board with 3 surviving at the end of it. NAVI drop every single gun they have.
Yeah, not only no time, but also minus 400 and minus gun. Granted, he had a Marshall that he was going to upgrade to at the very least, but regardless, he is now moving on into operator territory. And yeah, that I don't know, that opening pick just seemed so peculiar to me. Very, very strange.
What was also strange to me is that we saw quite a lot of Gecko engagements in that attack, right? Something I'm not familiar with, right?
Yeah, you know, I think Coutinho got a kill while blinded by the Gecko. Yeah. And again, this takes me back to my point that I think Gecko's flash sucks. Like, just the ability to still have awareness of your surroundings and where your crosshair is, because it doesn't block your entire screen. If you can't see where you're shooting, knowing where to line up for the headshot angle, right? Like, there's a lot of power in that.
Oh, as soon as the alarm bot triggers, SUYGETSU swings. Why did Hoodie have his knife out? Maybe wrong info. But still, SUYGETSU holding the angle and waiting for Angel to arrive, but he ends up dropping. Rhyme doubles up, and now there's a chance for Giants.
Yeah, Cloud's just down B long, sending Wingman into plant for long as well.
He doesn't hold back from the fight, wants all in on it.
Thanks, little man.
But that allows NAVI to be on top now.
Ooh, playing from long here. I don't actually know if they are aware that there's an operator in play for cNed. I think if you check tab before the game, or before the round, you'd expect it, the money he had.
Yeah, you can't quite know it, but still, NAVI playing with limited time, constantly dwindling.
Now you can play on that back sign there where Cloud is very nicely, just show barely ahead. It can make it hard for an operator to hold that angle.
There's a gravity well. That will be used straight up. Nebula as well, at the same time, trying to spray across it, making it impossible for a trade to commence. Shao is low, could be cleaned up. That's exactly what happens. cNed's going to stick it, isn't he? No?
Oh, the pull, yeah, the pull is brutal.
Enabled yet again, and there you have it. Rhyme with a final kill, and Giants squaring things up 2-2.
Right there.
It's not the first time these teams have been tied in the game, and it's certainly not the last today. It's always been blow for blow. Yeah, and honestly, like the way Giants were able to play here, bit of a gamble sending that spike all the way down B long, but it was able to get the plant without forward committing too much. The decision to play long, maybe risky against the operator, but again, the angle you have there is super nice, and I think I even underestimated the fact that Astra had the pull there. Just made it impossible to full stick inside of a smoke.
People are really getting hot in here.
Should we turn on the AC?
Right there.
No, there are a couple of players that were wearing hoodies. They're off now. There was so much pressure into this.
Oh, like literally?
Yeah.
You're not kidding, yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, we had the, I couldn't tell who it was, but there was the hoodie under jersey strat earlier today as Zyppan is holding B long and just gets deleted. Hold on now. cNed could open things up. If he finds the initial pick here, he could cause so much havoc with the knives in the back line.
Yeah, it's all for cNed. Now, with the wingman planting, at least that's something for Navi. Good for the eco. cNed gets it done in the end. It's been a bit rough, but gets the reset. Looking for the heads. It's 2 against him, runs out of blades. Now, with a classic, tries to close up the gap. Somehow still survives. It takes so long to be taken down. The rest of his team now can move onto the site, but the plant position, not perfect. Wingman taken down as well. And with Dizzy allowing the crossover, Giants have got a clear view over this Nebula, trying to conceal it for a little bit longer. It's rough. What? Thrash expended. Was that worth it? If they get the win, it will. Stun, diffuse, halfway,
That's
maybe
fine.
even full way. They're sticking it! Oh my goodness! They just allowed Navi to pick around. That shouldn't be theirs!
Ain't no way. What? The Thrifty on the full stick, and what happens here, right? cNed gets this kill, everyone falls back so far down long, they're like, look, we have the rifle advantage, we'll be okay. But the fact of the matter is, it's so easy to get it to half through smoke. It's hard, because there were so many players still alive, pushing back through, challenging through smokes, even with the Sheriffs. The players on Giants couldn't actually commit to spamming on the diffuser. They had to take fights.
Yeah, and I was wondering why did they commit Thrash? Surely they don't believe they have it, but yeah, they did. They absolutely committed everything they had into it, starting off with pistols, but of course cNed's blades, assisting with a double kill at the back of it. He did it all by himself, by the way. He gave his team that advantage alone, and he drew everyone into him. So much kudos to cNed that round.
Defensive Thrash now. Shot down in a tough position to recall it.
Yeah, maybe some help from a teammate, but don't really have the resources to expend someone away from Art. So yeah, that ultimate tick will run out. Dizzy clearing out the main entrance for them as well.
Nukkye has the ultimate to get on into sight here. Should end up just popping that one and going for the commit. Trying to see where the stars are. They do have enough stars to come on through, so here it goes.
The rotation from cNed will take quite some time.
Problem is, Spike isn't with Gecko. It's not on site. It's going to be really slow. It doesn't matter, though.
Vitinho, 2 kills to his name. As he falls, Angel picks up the pieces, and now Giants fully under control. The only 2 players alive were the ones in B, and the rotate took way too long.
Yeah, call a save. Just not going to happen. cNed has an operator. There's no way you're getting into the Viper's pit.
Oh, man.
And I really thought they were going to run into some problems there because Navi were set up to fight so aggressively. 2 players in Art, 1 player backside near Secret.
Navi had to win those kills.
They literally did, yeah. And because it wasn't Wingman actually planting, it was the Spike very far back. If a couple players died on the entry, they were just going to get completely stopped dead in their tracks. So credit to Vitinho especially, entering into sight and finding not just 1 but 2.
Keeping things close yet again. Who would have thought 3-3 to be the score once the spike explodes? And everything around it to bring us to round number 7. Am I going to call it here? Are we going to be looking at another overtime game? I know it's 3-3, getting ahead of myself, but come on. This is how the round started on the previous match.
Look, Pavlos, you're putting me in a tough position because I want to say yes, but if I say yes,
it counteracts the Caster's
it
Curse
counteracts
and voodoo magic.
So I'm going to say, who knows? It's open for interpretation, as all things should be.
Timeout out.
Navi called a timeout, and
yeah,
I think Giants, how have they been playing the majority of these rounds? I think it's been fairly standard for them to show some presence in mid early on, and then lean more heavily into the A hits. The B hits have been a little bit more through Link, I suppose, but A has looked pretty tough for Navi. Gotten caught out a couple of times. They tried to fight forward in front of smokes and have just simply lost those ones. So maybe some work to be done, Navi, in terms of actually how do we hold down that site. Is it worth committing 2 players to Art? Probably. Because if they do decide to split you into A, even though we haven't really seen that just yet, you'll just get punched in the back, and that's no good. And yet, because it hasn't been shown, maybe they do commit 2 players to site, just leave 1 into Art to mix things up and make it a little bit easier to trade with one another on site without running past through into a smoke.
I don't think we had too many players to highlight this particular game so far. cNed is probably one of them due to that 1 clutch, but other than that, everybody is on the same benchmark.
This is an interesting read. I was wondering what Navi were going to do, and it is a much more committed A hold. They rotate off, curiously enough, just the Jet. cNed with the operator. Maybe even gambling back over towards B, but that's not the right read. I'm actually a little confused with the way Navi are playing. Now, they can't play too far forward because they have nothing in art. There are options to try and play with a Killjoy utility to watch that out as cNed finds a huge pick down B long.
It's actually massive, and it actually draws out the rotation from them. They no longer stick towards the B side. They sort of figured out it's going to have to be an A here.
Okay. Didn't have a spike in hand, was just trying to clear out secret, but now the operator's moved over here. This is exactly what I want to see from Navi. Always 2 players on this site ready to fight.
Always keeping Giants on their toes as well. Where is cNed? Where's the op? Which corner is he holding?
And Giants aren't threatening mid. Like, art is not a problem in actuality.
Flash, cNed can't see, but he can see Fatinho's head, delivering, switching up the angle. Now, Mosh Pit behind him, avoids it.
What?
cNed yet again, 3 to his name. Oh, blind, and Cloud delivers. Now, 2v4, Navi on the front foot.
It got
Giants
canceled.
players are separated.
The spike was canceled. The C4, the null command from nukkye was perfect to shut that down.
Even more pressure for Giants then. And Navi can just chill. Mosh Pit
Oh, it's
delaying the
stalling.
push.
Now all of a sudden Shao has a potential to stab them in the side.
Oh, I thought that was a kill for Kyle for a second, but no, that is it. This is the round. This is where Navi will close it out. Cloud with 1 by the end of it. Magnificently done, elegant by cNed, and that's 4 on the board for Navi.
Navi had the perfect read, exactly what I wanted to see from them. Okay, that's just silly. That is just silly.
Oh my God.
Patient too, but then some of those flicks very nice on the site. I just love that Navi were able to identify the weakness, right? Fighting through the smoke out of art was a problem.
The confusion.
Coach comes in with the timeout. They figure out immediately there's always 2 players, even as they're rotating players in and out. cNed was all over the place with the operator. Always 2 on site, ready to go. And after nothing in mid, all of a sudden, potentially 4 players almost in mid.
Yeah, cNed switching things up yet again. Could be coming in contact with Hoody, but the rest of the players of Giants are towards A.
Because I think the idea could be if the op gets under pressure and there's utility spent, the players start funneling into B lane. Those 2 art players could look to wrap around in mid.
Did good.
I like the setup, at least for the A main take by Cloud, using his utility, being able to pick it right up, and basically no risk involved. So, nice little set piece for that A site, for all you future pros.
Now this time around, Navi, they will get smoked off. Just walled off immediately, double stars towards backside as well. It may just be a fast retake attempt. Whoa, that's big.
Yeah, it's massive. With Mingman no longer being able to spike, put the plants down. nukkye will have to do it himself.
Hoody.
On the back flank. They don't know it yet. He's holding his trigger. Misses though. Misses. But still delivering at the end. Shao recovers, and now Navi ahead. But they're back on the flank. Rhyme so close to it. Cloud, they're taking the fight to them. They're just going to hold. It's down on Navi to peek. They sort of know there's presence here. They're going to come in with cNed as well. 3 players stacked up. SUYGETSU with the headshot. SUYGETSU doubles up. nukkye alone. Nearly impossible. Oh, it's rough onto Shao. How does he even pick it through the box as well? And Navi increase the lead. The question is, can they extend it even further?
Up by 2 now. They did such a good job clearing those 2 secret players. Look at that, I mean, just like on top of one another almost. SUYGETSU gets both. And ultimately, when it comes to the post plant on the A site, you almost always, as an attacking team, need control over either one of art or secret. You need one of those to stop the flood in from so many angles, to have multiple points of pressure in the post. There's not a lot of great spots to actually chill on site. So being aware of that, after it was the late lurk into art, okay, only 1 player there. Oh, they maybe doubled up secret. Here we are, boom, boom, boom. Make quick work of those 2 players. And now another look for cNed. He has been feeling himself now.
Yeah, definitely. Took him a while to get online, but he's doing his job.
And all of the power now comes to where he puts himself in the early round. Can he find the early picks? Is he guessing right? Is he reading his opponents? Every pre-round will be asking cNed, where do you want to go?
And now Giants has definitely switched up the pace. A bit of a default, everyone looking in all directions, and now 2 towards mid, maybe where Cloud wants to push. Of course, Moshpit will be denying them the aggression. Navi, 2 players here, they're comfortable to hold.
We have seen a couple of times from Giants, the solo player late down B long, while the rest of the team attempts mid, maybe into Link. That's exactly the position where cNed would carve them up.
Cloud
but it will be working in towards art now.
First contact catch for Cloud. Shao behind the smoke. Cloud burst. Fatinho dashing forwards. That's actually really important because now he can just enter the site. He's got a clear bird's eye view of all of it. Lockdown to delay, though. You're going to have to get the spike down quickly and get out of there, or wait for the lockdown to expire.
No, the mosh pit is on, I believe. It breaks it. Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. Cloud got in position to throw the mosh pit and pump that one out.
But with the spike down, Zyppan can throw nades towards Rhyme. He's going to go down low, eventually dropping. No, he's still alive! 45. Shao ends up falling. It's Giants with first blood. Spraying through the wall. Cloud is low, but Hoody again delivering. NAVI are finding so much difficulty in getting any of these kills.
Angel now walking into Art. He's able to find one, but there's two players on either side. It's a 3 versus 4.
He can't go in. His team needs to put pressure. What? Angel! No way he finds that. cNed as well! NAVI stepping up to the plate when it's most required. On the spike, putting pressure. Snake bites! SUYGETSU alone. This Timmy the Turret has done the job. Timmy the Turret MVP! And the SUYGETSU can get this kill! Oh! It's Hoody that stops it from happening! And Giants close up the gap. 4 in their name.
It slips away from SUYGETSU at the end. Had done a phenomenal job, but not able to find the shots. What a messy round here. The fact that Angel is able to find 2 kills, I think Giants getting a little anxious to hunt him down. And then, of course, with the decay from the poison orb and the snake bite, easy kill on the diffuser. That is what you need. All of a sudden, look at that. Vitinho so fast up, but instantly hits the brakes.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the dash anymore, right?
Whoa.
Oh, contact in mid.
What is this?
Spike left alone.
And this is new. They can hold one another as angles. Now, I don't think we've seen a lot of late re-clears into mid from Giants.
Not
Maybe
so
if they have a couple of players there initially and they'd walk into them. But this could get awkward.
Giants trying to figure something out here. Surely NAVI should be playing onto something. Oh,
the flash timing! Gorgeous!
He collects it. Good coordination by Giants. Nukkye setting up his teammate for success.
Giants have had so many of those pieces working together so nicely. The 2A players now abandoning that attempt to regroup with the rest of the team play numbers.
The Dagger spotted them though, right? So NAVI sort of curious, are they sticking to their guns on the A site? It's pretty much sold their entrance there, right? So now baiting their way towards the B site. It's gonna be basically clear.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, the double mollies go through, just sort of guessing if and when the players could be getting that push. So an easy plant all the way for long. Nobody really playing on site.
Playing for long.
But we've seen this before. This has been a problem. The full stick is an option now. There are double smokes on cNed to try and stick this one through.
He's got two choices. Play it aggressively with the blades or play for the operator on those long distances. No one is on the flank. All of Giants can look towards the spike.
Knife cleared backside, so they can all peer down long. There is a pull on spike. That'll be the first way to interrupt the defuse.
Oh, cNed! First shot! It's true to him. And still, equal numbers. A lot still to bounce onto the spike when needed. No utility usage so far. Diffuse, not even halfway. Vitinho with the blades is doing magic around that smoke. cNed cannot find him. Vitinho, what was that?
Gorgeous. Vitinho around the edge of the smoke. Just when things could have gone bad with those 2 smokes being popped. He's playing on the edge. The knives are true. And I thought it could get dire with cNed playing on that angle. That was nasty. But a combination of the shots through smoke, the knives through smoke as well. I think he gets that second one.
Wow.
Seeing the swing come on through the second he dips away out of vision.
That wasn't just a fine tune, it was an entire symphony.
That's your real MVP,
Weaving in and out of battle. Yeah, of course.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you, Wingman. Giants.
What is, again, walking up in mid.
Hoody is one of them, man. Hoody gets it. cNed, blades wasted.
I mean, you never expect the mid push again after it failed so hard in the previous round.
Never expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Apparently there's a lot of things you don't expect. I wasn't expecting that, for one. Oh, man.
Two of the OGs out there that get the reference.
Two
of the Zoomers, never mind.
I get the reference.
Good. I know.
But just out of left field. I respect it.
I know there are a lot of Zoomers out there, so it might take a while. All right, Vitinho in it. Shao, good little shot. Keep his team in the fight. They've got they've been able to square things up, right? It's a 4v4, and Giants forced to get out of there.
Thrash is going to be fantastic, though. It will seem no one's actually A main, so you can see rotations already coming over. Shao doesn't want to be on A anymore.
Navi are happy to hold it to be on the B site, though, because SUYGETSU is there with a ton of util.
30 seconds
An attacking knife in spawn to catch the rotate even, or even a Killjoy playing off-site. That was actually really clever. I think it was to turn off the util. It misses, though.
It does.
And that plant won't work.
Yep, deleted. Spike now into the site. They have to get it down themselves, wasting a player in that expense. SUYGETSU falls, and Cloud and Ryan pick up the pieces. Zyppan comes out of nowhere and saves the day. Angel, with 5 HP, is also the last man standing.
Navi read the play with Thrash right there. Back in time and shut it all down. If that knife had hit, and I thought the attempt from nukkye was sick to try and catch a Killjoy playing very deep off site, that changes everything.
Really
All of a sudden, Lil Bro can plant the spike. Giants can play off site. Navi cannot attack them as they try to put that down. They can't find all those kills with the spam. But here we go.
Pressure is on. A real fight. The real deal. SUYGETSU on the other side of the Cosmos might be able to interrupt it. Does make sure that there is no cross of the spike, but still, Vitinho is shut down by cNed, still alive, looking to peek through. This is dangerous, but he doesn't care. He looks danger in the eye and says, I can kill you.
Cloud, Rhyme, it's all down to them. They're stuck backside. Rhyme finds 2.
And Rhyme for the heroics, but cNed is there. Whatever Giants try to do, cNed will stop you.
cNed, the read, and even wall flashed. While he's flashed, he's running towards the wall, ready to peek back through it again. Madness.
Now that's the cNed we were looking for. The frustration of the previous map in contrast to that smile. That is all the money right there. Not this, cNed. But yeah, you get what I mean.
That's a pretty cool face, too.
Yeah,
You got to give it credit.
Pretty cool.
And yet,
Halftime.
we were in halftime before on Icebox. We were in this exact same situation. Navi leading 7-5. Navi would go on to go up to 12 points on the scoreboard, and they were not able to close. Giants were able to crawl back, able to force it to OT. It was so close until Navi eventually came out on top.
Cheering on both sides of the Coliseum. The pit is on fire.
Let's not forget that full stick that Navi were able to have.
Yeah.
During that, I mean, that was just absolutely insane. On a Thrifty, no less.
That kill is ridiculous. Pixel play.
I feel like Valorant goes so quick. There's so many cool moments round to round, game to game. And you just almost forget them with how fast-paced it is.
And it always seems to come down to the battle of the Jets, right? So many of these clutches, so many of these openers has either been cNed or Vitinho. Vitinho really proving his worth. Remember, this is amongst the biggest stages he's ever played. Up until this point, he's played Tier 2. Maybe Lock-in being the biggest, obviously playing a global event. But this is only due to the fact that he's now joined this Giants with this partnership.
And Navi are no easy competition. This team is stacked. Yeah, disappointed on day 1, dropped map 1 here. But the fact that Giants are putting up this good of the fight. Vitinho as well.
Stars on both sides, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And at different moments, different key players. From the entirety of this match, from the entirety of this series, no team looked comfortable. Always on the edge, always trading rounds. cNed is chill now. Like, that is the face of a man that is relaxed.
What a turnaround. I saw some of the Navi players backstage before heading into this third game. Spirits seemed high for them after clutching it out and winning on split rather. But now they have to close it out once again.
Keep up.
Navi on the attack. Giants on defense. Side switched. And a mid-play imminent. cNed actually to be the front of this force. And only Cloud for now to be a thorn in the mix.
Well, that's uncomfortable. One player pinching in from main as well. The flash actually hits cNed though, and that slows down the hit.
Yeah, Cloud's in the corner. He's got a decision to make. Does he play within the smoke? He's within the crowd. Is the crowd really smoke for Cloud?
What?
Does end up with 2. No freaking way. Cloud with 3. How does he dance away around that?
Nah, I just don't believe it.
A ballerina of sorts, I reckon.
I mean, flashes are coming in. There's a wingman behind him trying to clear him through. And somehow, he keeps afloat.
And Cloud potentially for the final kill to give us a curtsy. He shall drop by the end of it, but yes, that is Giants on the board and a pistol. How many of these pistol round wins were Giants'?
So many, because I think the same thing happened last map when they were down by 2. They wanted to go up to 6, instantly bringing things back to even. They have been so good. And look, the fact is cNed can't really clear this coming in. I mean, he has to worry about backside, front, maybe he could do a quick flick as he's dashing on through. But you have a player in main you expect to be all right there. The fact that the smoke was dropped just to give some element of protection to Cloud allowed him to fight forward.
Nice little flick there from Rhyme, so he's not stunned over. Busy doing its job to be collected.
Looks like Zyppan's the guy to be farmed orbs in this round. Trying to work towards that KO ult. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially playing against so many smokes on the opposite side. You want to be able to shut that down, shut down all the stall tools. Now, one thing Giants are lacking in this comp, Sentinel, right? They don't have that Killjoy to give them permanent information around mid. We saw Giants on their attack hardly challenge through Art at all. In round 1, Navi, that's exactly where they went through with most of their pressure. We're going to see a lot of this. Lurk timings. Can we get players in here? Maybe with the whole team, maybe just with 1 or 2. It can allow them to play very fluid in a way that I think Navi love to play. They've been doing this so often. They love to spread apart.
Yeah.
Obviously in this round, going to be tough for them, but this is a sign of things to come for them and them trying to find good timings to punish.
Spreading out to hopefully one of the players get a pick and then they can convert on that. But no one has done so thus far.
30 seconds
And
left.
the main pressure point that you can actually hit is like B-Link, right? You just put one smoke where Hoodie is standing right now, and then you have threatened to walk through B-Link into connector. If you have connector control, it ruins what a defender is trying to do. Just keep your eyes out.
Running dry on that clock. Shao out in the open. Shao gets a pick and gets back to the defuse. cNed with another pick. They've got a chance. They've got a real chance.
Also, SUYGETSU has a monster lurk all the way back in spawn. Ahead in numbers. You have to turn around. Rhyme is wary for it.
Who would have thought with pistols they would have been so far forward?
No.
SUYGETSU on the flank with so much to do. cNed softening them up so the rest can clean up. They've got Sheriff as possible. SUYGETSU inching forwards little by little.
And it's open for him. It's planted completely open for Heaven.
Oh, and Zyppan gets the kill. Might not even come down to SUYGETSU, but he's just putting so much pressure. Smoke down. Diffusal.
Stop
coming
him.
in.
You have to
Looking
stop him.
Shao getting a pick. They've interrupted it. Zyppan again. Rhyme with a pick. It's down to Zyppan. Can he find the shots? And he gets it! The poison cloud disperses just in time for Zyppan to pull that trigger into the hearts.
Navi have been stealing these rounds away from Giants. The full stick in the first half. Oh, man. And here, no reason this should work. And yet it does. I think Cloud may have even been able to stick on the spike. The first shot of the share whiffed. It was milliseconds away from going all the way through. You can't fault him for pulling off it. But the small decisions may be what cost you things in the end.
I'm sure Giants would have wished they had the success that their opponents did on the eco. But they're already down at play. Remind you, Navi were down at play at the start of their pistol.
Unbelievable.
And still converted.
Giants have fully bit on the rotate. Navi are fully spreading out and playing the map. I have to say, the fluidity that Navi play their attacking sides on the majority of maps has been quite spread out, right? Sort of testing the water, especially in mid on a lot of maps. I think the triple site maps they've looked fairly solid on in terms of how much poking and prodding they're able to do. And again, they find a pick, collect themselves back with the rest of the team, work together, abuse the numbers advantage, and find themselves with an open site.
Spike planted.
Cheers out for Wingman doing his job. Good job, little bro.
It's just planting a spike, okay? Yeah. Anyone can do that.
I feel it's the equivalent of a Rift Herald going into a turret when everybody cheers
I
for
don't
it.
condone League of Legends discourse in my Valorant casts. Nope, I won't stand for it.
Okay.
That's your one free pass.
All
Never
right.
again.
Okay, I used it. That's it. Share us out for Giants. They've got quite a lot to do. Yeah, it's not looking great. Ooh. Continue with the pick. They're looking for damage, really, at this point, knowing that Na'Vi losing weapons will have difficulty into buying up next round. But I think they're happy with keeping 4 players alive. And there you have it. Chapter closed, 9-6. I believe 3 rounds is probably the greatest gap we've had so far in this entire match. Probably.
I want to say there was like a first half where there was like a 5-2. I think 5-2 on split. As a matter of fact, but I don't think it ever got much more above that. Definitely not this late. It's always been super tight between the 2 squads. Giants will call a timeout, and I wasn't able to get a look at the money. But I really hope Fatinho was able to save enough to purchase an operator heading into this round. We saw how effective it was in the hands of a phenomenal Jet player with cNed in the previous half.
Yeah, looking at the players right now, there's a lot of conversing going on amongst the Giants players right now. Definitely a lot of speaking.
I should hope so. They called the timeout.
Yeah, no. But that's the thing, right? It's the matter of what your focus is in that timeout. And for now, they're trying to iron out some kinks.
A lot of ideas, a lot of voices at play. You're on the defensive side, and I do find it very difficult to actually make put together forward aggressive plays on defense. You know, you could consider, oh, do we fight for A main control? Okay, but if we go there, how long is our rotation actually back over to the B site? Oh, how weak is our art control? You know, like going down B long, also fairly challenging unless you're just posting up an operator player that would quickly fall back off the angle. So I imagine more it's about trying to figure out how are Navi playing a lot of these rounds. How do they want to execute into it? Because Navi don't leave a lot of holes where you can push against them. Again, they spread out 2-1-2 very often. Look for an opening pick, look for a forward position, and then off of the information they're able to gather after those first 30, 40 seconds, that's when they make a call. They all commit and are instantly able to convert onto it. That does make prepping against them very difficult.
Very tough, very tough. Notoriously known for making it very difficult for them to be prepped up against. But I do see there was a player that was restarting their client. I believe they're back in the game, so I assume that the tech pause will soon be over. But of course, don't have the full information around that. Should be getting right back into it. But yeah, definitely putting more pressure onto these players. The more they wait, the more they're not playing. It's a mental game.
I mean, they've been here a long time too.
Yeah.
What time do we have now? 9:47?
I'd like the addition of all the rounds played thus far.
Wait, did games start at 6? Is that true?
The game started at 6, or around that.
A little bit after, because you have map select, agent select, of course. But man, these players have been here a long time.
The thing is, BBL and Carmen Corp are waiting to play right after this. They're like, come on,
yeah,
guys.
They're playing a different battle. Like, these 2 teams are trying to win. The other 2
and
teams,
the other ones are just worried. What are we going to do with the next match? It's actually
well, it's like, will I fall asleep? You know, it's like, when do I go for the Red Bull? I don't know.
That's actually a valid question.
Yeah, it's important. All right. Tech pause, both over. We're back into the thick of things. No actual mid-fight this time around. Navi just want to explode, and this is indicated by Zyppan having the ultimate. Navi have been much more willing to commit quickly when they have access to that. But they call it off for the time being. Now, Fatinho did get an operator. He has no money, no armor either. So he was poor. But they made the choice to give him that up. Actually playing in art, I really like this. Now, Navi aren't walking into that. But the read being our art has been weak. Navi have gone there before. We don't have a setup to really shut that down with utility. That would be a funky angle to run into an operator.
Looking at the stakes of this round, Giants have a lot to lose. Losing it will keep them very far behind. 4 rounds of difference, potential of being 5. Given that they'll have to be forced onto pistols, hoody drops back. cNed takes a splash of damage, but still up.
Giants might be on light armor, but they have no cash in the bank. Very early ult. That was actually Zyppan on the post, just spammed through smoke. Unbelievable, and they call the save.
They have to. They've got no money. Otherwise, they'll have no guns into the next round, and going into a B site with 5 players are alive and they've got no info in mid and a potential flank in the works. This has got to be a save by Giants.
That'll put NAVI on 10. Zyppan also using the immediate ult to make sure there was no quick retake option as they were trying to get the spike on the ground. And I like this. Go hunting. Anything they can get here, that is a rifle gone. Giants cannot buy next round. It is not an option for them.
Oh, Vincere dies.
That's the op. They can't even pick up the op again.
Rhyme, he gets it. Okay,
Huge.
gets 1 kill. Massive! No, he loses it! And nukkye dies as well! No guns saved! No guns in the bag! No money! And NAVI, a clear trajectory towards success. One which they've never had up until this point, this series.
I don't know what he's thinking. Rhyme must have thought the safety was on. Why pull the trigger? It throws it away. Giants left with nothing, not even knives. Pathetic assortment of pistols. 4 players trying to creep up into A main. I mean, it is an eco when you try to throw away something crazy.
They've got to come up with magic. They can't afford to lose more rounds.
But again, this is the issue, right? Like, there's only 1 player actually waiting for you here, and then the rest of the team could wrap around on you from art.
Dizzy fell on the other side of the wall, which means it cannot be collected easily, which is where Giants are holding. That sheriff shot does indicate there is pressure from that direction, which does prompt NAVI to move to the other side of the map.
That's fine, though. There's only 1 player here. I can't imagine Giants are able to do anything with this whatsoever. Hoody's holding the Marshall like it's a shorty.
Ooh. cNed comes out on top. Hoody unable to pick it up, and still, NAVI've got so much control of this Giants. Oh, it's tough. We know this is a difficult situation for Giants. They're not meant to win it, but it all means so much to them. They're falling so far behind. Such a great job they've done in the previous 2 maps, the overtimes.
That's a rifle on Cloud.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
SUYGETSU, though, makes clean work on the flank. Thrash even as a guarantee, because why not? SUYGETSU, Quadra in the bag, bringing up that confidence. That's, well, bringing up the stats. 11-6, NAVI, 2 away from that closer.
You're right, though. This is the first time we've had a team run away with a lead now. NAVI, all the momentum on their back. The best chance Giants had to shut it down, Coutinho.
It's now.
He saved last round. I think he had 2,900 in the bank. He now has enough for the operator. No, he actually doesn't. It's cNed with the op on the opposite side.
Uh-oh.
And cNed also has knives, so this isn't one of those situations where your attack stalls out because you don't have the jet to dash into sight. No, you have that backup threat always.
Look at the push here from Giants, gaining early control over B. That Prior is going to give them a lot of access to rotate their players to another area.
The thing is, NAVI heard all of this. They have to know it's possible that someone is posted up forward on B, and I think they want to punish it.
Shao's just waiting to peek out. So is SUYGETSU, so is Angel. 3 players stacked up here is no easy task for a single player. Coutinho,
Man,
asked to deliver more than he can, potentially.
if Coutinho can't even get 1, I think this round's just over. Giants are leaning much more heavily over towards A. No other players on site. You can see he's getting nervous. Coutinho's actually abandoning B entirely.
Yeah, the Spaniard felt the pressure, drops back.
It's the right call, though, because the util was going to come in and absolutely destroy him. Ideally, what NAVI are looking for. They want some player to rotate lazily through art to connector. That's what cNed is waiting for, but they don't have dive to get into sight.
It's a split B crunch, and it's all commencing right now. Pressure from long, Cosmic Divides. It's basically
this is tough for
making
NAVI.
the site a square. Isolating Coutinho, Zyppan doubles up, and NAVI managed to unlock it. And now, 3 for Giants. They need magic Mosh pit denying nukkye's entry. Nukkye trying to bring things through in his favor, but Shao stopping it. This could be all over very soon. Giants need to win. That next round will be too tough to buy.
cNed up in hand is going the long way round to spawn. He's going to be very late, but again, it is planted open for him, I believe.
They're going for it.
Too many angles here. SUYGETSU and Link.
Way too many angles. Way too much to cover. SUYGETSU will be spraying through. They're touching the spike, putting pressure. Rhyme doesn't connect, and SUYGETSU converts the crossfire. Converts the spray. 2 kills, and NAVI match point.
With no jet to get them into sight, it's Zyppan who steps up, a perfect flash to send himself in, finding both kills on 180 degrees, had to snap left, snap right, gets the job done.
The pressure is all on Giants right now.
Vitinho has an operator again, and he's at doors in mid, stepping forward, a chance to find SUYGETSU.
Knowing a presence in A main, Giants, more resources on the left-hand side. Rotations have to come in quick if this hit of this A site is coming soon.
SUYGETSU has ultimate. The question is, does he use it to get on site or in the post plant? Because in the post plant, if he's able to save it, that is lights out for Giants.
Cloud has Thrash as well. Super important, super vital ultimate. And when does he use it? Does he use it early to try and find the information? If he doesn't use it, he'll end up hating himself, given that the NAVI push is coming now into the A site.
He could use it shortly in front of him just to clear out Art. That's not the call. cNed all the way into sight.
Yeah, it's going to have to be the retake. Rhyme, it's locked between. So much utility, still somehow alive. Shao finding one, it's a trade. They can't get the spike off of the plant. Still, 4-on-4, Zyppan to the backside, putting pressure onto Giants. 2 players together. Nice peek by Hoody and nukkye.
Now the lockdown though for the post plant. They must push this. Cloud,
no way.
Doesn't have the mosh pit. They have to come into it or get on spike.
It can be defused.
It's a half.
It can be defused,
Wait.
no? No, it can't be. It can't be.
The timing, it works! The timing, it works perfectly!
And Giants, they're still in the game!
Unbelievable! Down to the nanosecond.
Maybe that's a little bit of mental pressure off of their shoulders now. They know they can bring it back on retakes. As tough as they get, they've always got the clutch potential. Maybe that just brings a little bit more hope into their hearts. It's not all over yet. Yes, it's a mountain to climb. But they've just given themselves a little bit of fuel to get them up there.
Giants have started the run. Can they maintain? Now, finally, first time Giants are even slightly comfortable after a round. But Art has been the constant weakness. NAVI haven't gone here even that often. May have lulled Giants into a false sense of security. Cloud is right on the head.
5 chances in a row for NAVI to close this out.
The pressure has pulled Vitinho over towards connector. They're actually going to go deep connector. I think this may end up being a B hit.
I don't think nukkye knows of this. He has no clue and gets beaten to the chase.
How can you be ready? And now that the operator is gone from B long, these 2 players can get down here too. Hoody from backside puts down the pit. It's his kingdom they have to conquer.
Let's see if he can hold on to it. He's being pressured from all edges, banging into the walls. Pressuring, Hoody is down, and so is the pit. cNed doing his job, and NAVI on top. Giants, they've gotten their team out of the situation before. Can they do it again? Limited resources, limited space.
So hard, so many angles. They have to work through. cNed finds the first.
Stepping up when it's required. Vitinho with the blades has to get more than that one. Draws out closer, he's got assistance, but cNed collects it. The Jet v Jet fight, Rhyme alone. But surely this is the end. Surely it's too much. And that's exactly what it is. NAVI pick up the win. 2-1.
The resiliency of NAVI throughout today. 80 rounds.